Well, Lofa, where you at? I tell you what's on, Lofa. Well, gentlemen, welcome this evening to the closing acumen. This is Henry Peabody. The other folks will be joining us. Our guest today is the representative from Montserrat County, his Honorable Foco. He's going to be our guest today, but we want to welcome you guys. We want to welcome you guys. I know the folks in Monrovia, the last on Monday, there was some issue with the rain and the internet, and we were unable to get you guys on. You didn't get us, but we are back again. We are happy to be back. We are happy to be here to bring you news and the happening in Liberia from an objective side. Tomalin George is in Liberia. He's in Liberia. He probably will join us, may not, but he's in Liberia. He just got there yesterday, probably getting readjusted to getting his set in. But Tomalin is in Liberia. Lofa Julius, the man behind the IT and everything that you see working here for us. Lofa, welcome, man. Good to see you, my brother.
Hey, Dr. Peabody, great to be on. It's everything going.
Yeah, it's going well, man. It's been a busy day, but it's going well. Very busy day for the working people. But it's going very well, and really good to be back. We got our guest today. Look, I talk about our guest. We got a special guest today, right?
Yeah, we do. We have our guest. He's an energetic young man who is now presenting himself as the disruptor. You know, at the House, serving as a representative, representing District Number 9. And his name is Frank Safoco. Hopefully, he will join us soon. And we will be diving into a lot of things that are going on. I heard he had been very vocal about the, mismanagement of what are funds or bad governance and everything else. He's been very vocal. So hopefully we will have the opportunity to engage him today and kind of get in his mind to know what is really going on, what triggered the desire to stand up for Liberian and in his capacity. Of course, as part of his job description, he is supposed to provide that oversight. But we would hopefully will have the opportunity to kind of dig through and know what is going on. But while we await the representative, there's something that's going on. When I saw your background, for some reason, I thought you were also in Buchanan. Uh,
There's a lot of money in Buchanan. It's a lot of money
no,
there.
I'm hearing there's a lot of money in Buchanan, and maybe while we wait for the other panelists to join us, maybe we can kind of open up the phone line and get the people's view on this whole Buchanan retreat and what to think about it. Because as we talk, Dr. Peabody, JFK is out of medication. The Redemption Hospital is out of medication, and there are
The hospital in Nima, Jacksonville Hospital, don't
there
even
you
have
go. The
field.
Jacksonville Hospital is out of
Field.
medication,
Yep.
and feel
Yep.
that people's lives are at risk. But guess what? Your senators are going for 2-day retreats or 4 days retreat as they're claiming. One person is saying it's only 2 days. The other person is saying it's 4 days, but they're using $50,000 and they cannot justify the use of it. I mean, and I can share with you. I was just kind of browsing today, and I saw something from Darius DeLon. Darius DeLon and Amara Kane are both going back and forth, confusing themselves, pretending as though they're confusing the general public. So, um,
Look, if they spend $50,000 just for 3 days or 2 days, man, Liberia already got money. And I heard $25,000 went for security for 2 days.
the,
You
the, the,
know,
the, the truth is, though, the truth of the matter is, you can tell that these guys are lying about their or their intervention in the entire process, because these are two senators who actually claim to be of transparency. All right. These are two, senators who are supposed to be of transparent idea and integrity. Let me read for you guys. Let me read verbatimly what was written by American and Dr. P. You can take it on while I try to go on the page.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
As
yeah. Let me go
Julius, as Julia get that stuff together, there's another big news. The party, the chairman is not writing letter to the central bank to hire the partisan, and I heard now the central bank and
Yeah,
its staff have already fired people, have already started hiring those people at the central bank, and then you want our President George Weah for doing the same thing. You ran on the mantra that you were going to change it. Your government was not a good government. And you're doing the same old thing. You sending so you are firing people to replace them with your partisans. You are laying up thousands and thousands of people to replace them with your partisans. So all those people you say you were reshuffling and things was rather not reshuffle. You just fired people and brought in new people. Then you increase the wage bill, or you increase the employee, and then the government run into the same thing, not being able to pay people only because
yeah.
of politics. Yeah.
So, so this is what Amara Kane wrote, right? And this is part of the reason why I have no respect for these guys. All right. Amara Kane said the allegation that the Senate spent 700K of taxpayers' money on a 2-day retreat in Buchanan is inaccurate. Remember now, he said 2 days retreat. That's what
Mhm.
Amara Kane is saying. All right. Now, doing so would have been uh, you know what? I'm not even going to go into that part. Let me read what Darius Dillon said in his statement, right? So Darius Dillon said he did not want to respond to anything stated because I guess he's too big and bad. No one comes close to him. His shoulder is high. His chest is all pumped up. So he desire or not does he require to respond to anybody. Nevertheless, he thought to do so anyway because we are at the mercy of Darius Dillon and his colleagues. He said, regarding the Senate retreat, no 700K was spent as is being falsely alleged and deliberately spread around. The budget for the retreat, as far as I know, was put at 50K. Yes, 50K for 4 days. Okay.
Hmm.
Darius Dillon said
Wow.
50K for 4 days. American said 50K for 2 days. I really want us to open up the phone lines and get people's view on this. I mean, what do they make of the American is saying one thing that was until our guests can come in. I think this would be a good thing to hear from
Yeah.
Liberians back
Let,
home.
let's hear from the Liberians. Yep.
Yeah, let's hear
Good
from
point.
Liberians back
Good point.
home as far as what they think about it. And even here, what do you guys think about these controversial statements from
Yeah.
your senators? One person is saying, "Oh, the 50K was running for." You see, God has a way of exposing people.
Yep.
God has a way of exposing people, and when He ready to do that, I know this is Dr. Peabody's area. I don't want to kind of overshallow that because again, I'm not the the guy here, the man of God, however it is. But in all reality or all honesty, when God is ready to expose you, He exposes you in a way where you yourself will be confused and you know not how to defend the truth.
Right.
Both of you guys, you can't say there's a junior senator and a senior senator or nothing of that. They are all privileged to the information that benefits everybody. So let's take some calls, Ansu. Thank you for coming in. Let's take some call. Folks in the diaspora, the number to call we will make available. Let's hear from you. What do you make of the retreat? Matter of fact, they just came from another celebration in South Korea. They went to celebrate. They went and celebrated their belated birthdays and everything else in South Korea and brought nothing back. Then they went for the after party in Buchanan.
Yep.
So this is let's hear. Hopefully let's get Ansu on the phone to take some calls. And those of you back home who would like to call, the WhatsApp line is open. The number remains the same. Call and let's hear from you. What do you make of the flamboyant act of your senators and the wasteful spending? Are you excited?
Complete wishful spending.
We don't have drugs at JFK. We don't have drugs at the Redemption Hospital or other major medical institutions in the country. But your senators are taking huge amount of money to go for after party in Buchanan, and they are labeling the after party the retreat. Let's hear from you guys. Answer. Welcome, Boss
Okay.
Answer.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much. Thanks, Julius, and thanks to Dr. Peabody. Welcome to the closing argument. Comment on 0776 927472. Let's hear from you back. Whomever those of you monitoring the show, we just want to hear from you. What do you make of all the 13,000 United States dollars indeed? As you may be a word in the know that senators went to a Grand Bassa County, a 3 day excited retreat, received 13,000 United States dollars. Call me on 776 9274
You still got the number that you fixed?
9274 72 are the numbers for you to call on. Let the guys in here for you. 0776 92 74 72. The numbers to call on and be live here on Truth FM. We've been joined in studio. Yeah. But can you guys bring Tomalin in studio one? Yeah. So yeah, Tomalin is in studio, right? So can you just bring him in studio one? Yeah. Yeah, you guys can begin studio one. 0776 9274 72 are the numbers for you to call and be live here on Truth FM 96.1. What do you make of 13,000 United States dollars? One man just went to Grand Bassa County, sit for three or 4 days, and received 13,000 United States dollars back home. All right, so
that was what each of them got.
yeah.
Jesus.
It's good to have the bosses here.
I'm going to run to be senator.
0776 9274 72. The numbers to call and be live on Truth FM. On the closing argument. I want to get your feedback.
Let's hear from these folks on this. Dr. Peabody. Tomalin is in the back. But yeah,
Tomalin is in the studio.
Tomalin is in the studio. But you know what, Doc? This is what is really baffling me. I see our studio guest for tonight. He received the message. So he got the link now.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. Let me try to chat with him and see how so we can get him.
Okay. Yeah. So let me just recognize some people while you.
Go ahead.
Let me recognize some folks. Our first here today was I'd like to recognize Daniel Jr. Bozizi Duode. Mr. Duode, good to see you, my friend. It's been a while. I haven't spoken to you for a while. Good to see you, Daniel. Good speak, smoke, good day, William. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Machine and Panther, you spend government resources. Okay. I don't know what's that, Daniel. Miss Yamna Kanga. Good to see you watching from Minnesota. Aliyu Kamara, good to see you, Aliyu. Welcome to the closing argument, my friend. Madhuri Chelsea Soiree, welcome, Miss Soiree. San Jalo Faya, welcome, Mr. Faya. Winfred Smith, always good to see you, my dear sister. Long time. I need to come to the hot table very soon. It's been a while. It's the time that I come in. James Coyote, our best friend. Welcome, my brother. Always watching from Jupuru, Hammond Field Community. James Coyote is one of our faithful followers here, man. Gribble Monk. Thank you, Representative Francis Afoko, for always making us proud. This guy spent 70K according to James. Wow. We'll have Thompson B. Boss, our man watching from Sydney, Australia. The great Mozart Dennis from the name is very synonymous. Mr. Dennis, we are so honored to have you always tuning in for the closing acumen. Aaron Zinn, good to see you, Aaron, and also my boy Oliver. Call him my son, Oliver Sakor, watching live from Accra, Ghana. Oliver, call me later, man. We need to talk. Gribble Monk, he following us from District but most represented district in Liberia. Yeah, he's the one thank his representative Lofa Junior. Big Smoke Good Day William. He said Dylan shouldn't be giving any relevant on the show that have great integrity. Telvina called our own sister. What a 50K for 2 days, a full day. The man is ridiculous and huge way to yeah, other rescue shrink for the time. Anatilla, hey guys, watch from Minnesota. Roof Robert Quinlan. Y'all please check on Rescue Ramo Dalmacha there. Oh, he acting some kind of way today, and I agree with him. Uh, Vasco Jabate Senior. He said, well, did you read the memo from Keff? He said Keff has left to close an argument. He's no longer with us. We continue to wish him the best. Uh, Vasco Jabate has Kev has an own show now. I don't know. I don't know what Kev next plan. Miss Berta Stewart. Wow. Y'all keep rescuing. Yeah. Okay, old brother. Samira Proc. Good to see you. The citizen cannot go for a retreat, but after giving themselves huge salary and benefit, they are still going for a retreat and drink wine. Yeah, that's what the people be telling y'all. Y'all be cutting people. So, Ruth said, friends of political party you in Liberia. Big Smoke got Peabody. Each of them got 13 G. What? Brother, I come around for Senator next year. I don't want a 13 G. So, and that's small model. Bilson Pay. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Bilson. My friend Thomas Beer from Belgium. Good to see you, my brother. Belgium. We're looking forward to coming around there next month for the July 24th celebration in Germany. We will be there, God's willing, if the good Lord carry us. July 26th to the 29th will be in Wolfsburg, Germany. Edwin Kra, Liberia elephant man. Nobody eat elephant in Liberia, man. You said goat meat. Like people left goat meat and cow meat or deer meat. I used to say so. Valerie J. Plackey, I'm watching from the palace, from my palace in Oldest Conkerton. Welcome, my friend. Miss Chelsea Norris, good to see you. Prince Moody said it was 10K. Everybody, they know how much they got. Yvette Sifa, hi, Yvette. Good to see you. Nora Hope, good to see you. Say Dwala, watching from Virginia. Good to see you too. Hassan Benedict, watching you guys from New Jersey. Welcome, Hassan. Good to see you, my friend. Steve Queer, watching from Philadelphia. Good to see you, my own Philly balls. Vision TV is watching. Good to see you, Vision TV. That's my man, Bill Deeks. Good to see you guys. And Ruth, good to see you as well. All right, guys, welcome until our come back. Tomalin George is in Liberia. He's in the studio. Guy, would you encourage you to keep sharing the show, keep sharing it, keep sharing the show, guys. We're looking forward to have a hot representative. Focal is going to be on Vision TV. A representative going to be here. We're going to be talking about the Central Bank of Liberia. Now they have received a letter from the chairman of the party. Say, I want you to fire these people and replace them with our partisans. And now they already did it. Elisha Tyler already now moved the people. He's not sending a big memo. The following position have been occupied. Right? Big English. Or the English, right? Not so much your English. He said, I was looking at the letter that he sent. He said, the following people will be replaced by this. You know what? Let me read the letter. That's so big that I got to look for dictionary to put it in it. But they're not doing that. The chairman of the United Party, the Reverend Dr. Luther Tappe, wrote a letter and told the people, he said, y'all got to put our people there. The other people there, they're not partisan, so they're not Liberian. Only our partisan are the real Liberian. Y'all need to put there. So they sent a letter. Then J. Elijah Stallo, the governor, the central bank, the men are that President Baga said he will not go to the conference. He want to stay back. They didn't want him to go to the conference they had the other day. And then he read a big letter. He said, dear all, the management of the Central Bank of Liberia have made the following staff movement with immediate effect. So once he got that letter, the man said, the following staff movement with it. That means the letter that Luther Tapper sent him, that means he read the letter and said, all the other people move right away. He said, Christian, not to do it. I already hanging. They will not do it. They mentioned the letter, whether right or now or wrong. We'll move them. And you see, that's what happening. That's what happened. Then we were applying cousin poor President Joey, oh Joey, that road, Joey, you want to take our $5 billion, Joey, I do this. The single thing, you'll go back and do it. They'll say your rescue train. Is that how people work? Is that how people work? Huh? What did I change? The same thing. You one day lay off almost, you say you're laying off 40,000 people. Or I don't know how many people you say you're laying off. The boy you laying off, they ain't got no job. Because they're not part of the party. So obviously they're not going to get a job. They got to hustle on their own. Good at live. You see, our time you bring them in. So now, like the run people, they look up party, airport, they look up party that take over. They bring their own people there. Then other people slap them. What are they know the job? What are the previous government sending them for training? Everything. You just take them all like that. It's very, very, very sad. Very, very sad. So, God, good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. You know, now they got $13,000 for the retreat. I know if the senator then got 13, I know the pro tem got almost 30 for her part of. The senator can get 13. So now all the pro tem getting. Yeah?
The justification and the one that hurts me is that all the money was spent in Basel, and it seems like all the money was left in Basel. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Look at Basel too. The economy that rather boot the going weekend.
But in fact, there was a report from the guy from OKFM, Clarence Jackson, because he was in Basel.
Right.
And the guy was saying some very demeaning and denigrating things about Basel.
Wow.
So for them to have said that the economy in Basel boom and all that money we're talking about was left red in Basel, and Clarence was talking about, you know, most of the routes are clouded with butches, you know, deplorable conditions of the people, and the city lies in ruin. That was what Clarence said on the OKFM show the other day. So I'm surprised that you spend all that sort of money in Basel, but then an independent journalist was also there and said the worst about the county. So it's very contradicting. What's also contradicting is that the Senate's press office, which should be the official spokes institution for the Liberian Senate, is talking around 47,000 that was used by the Senate. Now, you can also have Senator Amara Kone coming up to say 50,000 was used when your own press office is saying otherwise. The information seems to be very conflicting and contradicting.
Right.
And I think they need to really put their ass together and come up clearly, you know. And it's good that Representative Frank Safoko is coming tonight, because one of the things he said in one of his last shows that I followed was that the Senate, it seemed to be favored more over the House of Representatives. He said the executive seemed to be supporting the Senate very well because the executive has the rescue mother there. So it seems like most of the people in the Senate are people that supported the rescue mission. So the executive seems to be supporting the Senate even more than the House of Representatives.
Wow.
So from what's coming up is glaring, you know, because he's saying that the padam or the allowances, you know, some of the amenities that they deserve as legislators haven't reached them for the last 5 months.
Wow.
Now, he's saying that, you know, from the side of the Senate, he's saying everything is going well. They can go for a retreat. They can spend astronomical figures, you know, and they can come back on the air and be saying a lot of stuff. But the fact is that they seem to be getting more money than the House of Representatives, and this is confusing.
Toga, somebody said for some reason, because we're discussing the senators today, your camera seemed to be very clear.
I know. Toga is so sharp. I'm your camera in the camera, man.
And he came on time.
Yeah. And I came on time. And you can imagine how I'm struggling to put all these together tonight.
Wow.
My LEC not even functioning. I'm practically surviving on solar tonight, but to say I'm clearer tonight, I'm very lucky.
The representative is doing everything he can. I just sent him the link. He was using another device previously. He just switched device, so he's doing everything to come on. And while we wait for him, I was hoping that we would really hear from people back home. You guys cry to be a part of the conversation. When we give you the opportunity, then you sit and act like you don't want to even talk about these things. The number is there. We want to hear from you. We don't want this thing to appear as though we are here just trying to castigate government officials, your lawmakers, because we are not on their team or they're on the opposite side. No, that's the reason why we'll give you the opportunity. Call in and let's hear from you. What is your view on each one of these guys walking home with over 13,000, or as it is estimated or alleged that they are going home with this amount of money? A lot of you, your kids don't even have it to eat today. You cannot afford tuition, and all of these things. But here we are talking about these guys walking home with a whopping over 10,000 apiece to simply go and sit and
and
marinate. And this is something you
and
guys don't want
Lofa,
to talk about. You're
Lofa,
always looking for heroes. Nobody's
and
here to
Lofa.
be your hero. You're gonna have to fight to take yourself out of this. You know, the excuse train that you got yourselves on. Go ahead,
And
Alex.
Lofa, what is even interesting to note is that these allegations or information are coming from individuals that fully supported the rescue mission. These information are coming from people who, many of these people who are senators and representatives, has passed all of their information through, and they've been propagating that to the public. So it makes it difficult for them at this point in time that when these same people come up with information for us to say they are lies, because these are the people you used yesterday, to send out all of your information. You were feeding them with everything. So when they come out today, how do you want us to say what you say is lie? When everything these people have propagated in the past came from you directly.
Yeah, ODB.
So it makes it difficult for anybody to think that what comes out of these people about you, is untrue. And I don't want to believe that, because these are the people that you've always trusted. You had one man called your rescue Rambo. You had an outlet that you used all through in the campaign period and doing your propaganda for you. They can't come up at this point in time and you be clarifying to us. What are you clarifying when these are the same people you use over the time to propagate your messages? So I want to believe what is coming up, whether it's 450 or 700,000, because these are people and institutions that you've used over time to propagate your message. So I agree with them that the Senate use this sort of money, when the economy is struggling, when people can barely feed themselves, when pressure rise in whether it's Maryland or Lofa or rural counties, are increasing on the day, and all of these situations are affecting the masses. You cannot be using that sort of money on a retreat. Interestingly, Senator Amara Kone was on, a whole situation in the U.S. This man flew in from the U.S. in no time to be at the retreat. It says volume. It speaks volume.
So, Alex, quickly,
yes.
Now that we have our studio guest, he's in the back. We were able to confirm that he's with us. So we will want to jump to our program right away, since people did not call. I guess the guys in studio, I guess that Tomalin is in the studio, so we're gonna bring him in right away, right? So we'll just get into the conversation. So Dr. Peabody, we will let you to actually, yeah, you guys go ahead and conduct things. I think Tomalin is in Liberia. Hopefully he can give us some kind of update. I heard he's also in Buchanan, enjoying whatever's going on with you. I don't know if he got
enjoying the economy too.
He want to get his
well, you changed the representative name. You have to put his right name on.
Okay, let me change it.
Guys, it's good to be back in the mother's land. Good to be back in Liberia. I was driving from the airport yesterday when I heard Representative Foko. He was on fire. I enjoyed the young brother. He was on fire.
That's why I bet.
Yes, I listened to him throughout my drive from the airport to where I was stopped. And Foko was, I think this is one of the best interviews I've watched this guy. He was on fire. He held no punches back. He took out the gloves. He was on fire. He's fiery.
Oh no, he went off.
Okay. And I'm happy that he's on tonight, because the issue trending in the country is about this Senate retreat. I've been trying to get the Senate pro tem. I've called her. I've texted her. and no response. I want to get her feed about what we're hearing in the public, in the news, because it's very alarming. JFK is crying for medication. They are crying for supplies, and our lawmakers, they have now, and when Buchanan just for 1 week spending over almost a quarter, I mean, how much thousands of dollars there for a Senate retreat. And I watched the end of the program on Sunday, and now I get to know why they all were praising the pro tem. I heard Senator Snow heaping praises on the senator, on the pro tem, as she's the leader of BASA, everything. And I want to say it again, the Liberian people, they need to really pay attention, because these people will continue to fool them, mislead them, and tell them things that they want to hear. Come election time, they're going to go again and vote for these same people. And I pray and hope that this time around, they will learn a lesson that there's no reason, absolutely no reason why we justify the amount of money that has been alleged to have been spent in BASA by the Senate. They call it the House of Elders. There's no reason why they should spend such a money. And today, again, lastly, today I will suppose Spoon. I don't know. The last time I heard them attacking Spoon, I don't know why. Spoon was they called in the CNN, everything, they praised them. Today now they are disputing Spoon reports. I don't think we should even buy into that. But again, we have a responsibility to inform the Liberian people what we're hearing, and we're not rest. Since I know the only way our people can act is unless the U.S. government act, we'll be pushing for the U.S. government to act on them. Maybe when some of the people get sanctioned, and then they can, because you notice that when they sanctioned Abacha, they sanctioned Nukwe, they stopped running. They couldn't run again for opposition. And that's how they limited the power. But again, they're using all kinds of means to still manipulate the Liberian people. So I'm happy that Representative Fogo is here. And guys, we should not fear. We should not give up. We should continue to inform the Liberian people what's happening. And later on, we have time, we'll talk about the CT and the MedTech contracts. I've got a lot of information about these two contracts, what's happening. But again, we'll be back in Liberia. I'm happy that I'm in the studio of True FM. Very nice place, cozy, and so forth. And before we leave from there, we'll take this issue about the phone issue. We'll resolve this issue of the phone so that we can make sure that we have a reliable phone for our studio here.
Great, guys. Guys, welcome everybody. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, Honorable Gonglo. Welcome, Sylvester. Welcome, Toga. Welcome, everybody. Guys, why not we just jump in with our opening statement? What's anything on your mind? Let's start with Professor Gonglo. We'll go to Sylvester, Grace, Toga looks so sharp. I mean, very clear photo today. Very clear. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Guys, you guys can go ahead. I'm working with the representative in the back.
We don't see Sylvester often. That's a choking question. Like you got some choking question for the representative.
No. The reason why, listen, the reason why I'm not.
I'm making my opening statement here.
No, let me get Mr. Gongo.
Because Sylvester is not seeing all the time, so the fact that he's seeing like that is shocking.
The new progressive, we don't recognize progressive.
He's on time. I mean,
the new progressive. The new progressive recognize. No, Gongo, you're on the progressive line. We always trust me. And let me say this.
I'm a consistent progressive.
Yeah, let me say this for you today.
Progressive ideas.
Yeah, let me say this for you today. At the time started University of Liberia, I understand some of the jail corporate. When I told them, say, GoPro is my own intellectual man. I'm my own mentor. The man is consistent. The man get bent.
I'm consistent on what I believe in. That's what I do.
The man is consistent. You get fired.
Is he a member of the LPP as well?
Oh yeah, the man's a member of LPP. Very consistent.
The LPP been firing in a few days. The LPP said JFK has Lofa down.
Guys,
and religion.
I like to make a great
guys, hold on 1 second. We send that now that we have our guest. Let's go straight into the conversation. Dr. Peabody took us on from here. Now that the guest is with us,
Look, I'm going to be fair enough. I'm going to be fair enough. Since Kedabu was talking, I'll give him the chance to go ahead and ask his question.
Okay.
Representative, welcome to the closing argument.
Thank you. That is technology been in the course trying to wetting stream, yeah.
All right. But give an opening statement, and then Kedabu will ask you a question. Welcome. We're glad to have you in the closing argument today, sir. We're glad to have you.
Thank you, Dr. Peabody. Thank you. It's a pleasure. I'm sorry for coming late. The technology stream, yeah, gave me some difficulty. I couldn't be tell my phone. Get another phone.
And I think you can lay your phone. You can lay your phone so the black icon can move instead of. Myself used to always do that instead of holding it straight up.
No. Toga, let him just stay the way he is. Since it's not broken, don't try to fix it.
Okay.
Let him go.
All right.
Yes. Shake again and a different.
Somebody in the D, I should put
Tomalin, you're not muted.
Mute your phone. Please mute your device.
All right, go ahead. No. One more time. You're good. You're good. Unmute yourself. The camera is upside down. If you want to turn it, then go twice. One more time. Like I said, don't listen to Kelbo. Just leave Mr. Kelbo or Toga. Leave it the way it is. It's fine. If it's not broken, don't fix it. We're good. The only thing we want to fix tonight is Liberia. Tell us how we're gonna fix it. Leave the phone alone. Oh Lord. There you go.
Ahead. Yeah, I'm here.
All right, good.
All right.
Go ahead, Kelbo.
That too.
Somebody, you guys got to mute.
Somebody mute yourself. Let the girl speak.
Yeah, so like I said, my name is Frank Safoko Jr., representing the people of Electoral District Number 9, Mosorado County. We just elected again on October 10, a member of the 55th National Legislature. I'm glad. Thanks to all of you for the invite. And I look forward to having these different fruitful discussions in the interest of the Liberian people. I'm here basically to discuss Liberia. So I say thank you, and I look forward to all of our positive exchanges. And thanks for the many good work you've been doing. I've been following every one of you, your different exchanges. So I was very glad last night when I got a message from Lofa Julius concerning my being here tonight. So with no time, I just accepted that, and I'm sorry for coming late on the show due to some technical, challenge. So, but I'm here now. For the little time I will be here, I look forward to coming here again so that we can discuss wide range of different issues in our country, Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Once again, welcome, and we're looking forward to have you here more often whenever you have the time to come back. But we just like to go into our discussion today, and we'll have Mr. Kelebu Gonglo, one of our panelists. We have Ms. Grace Ga as one of our panelists. We have Mr. Robert Gagwa Jr. Chris Goa.
Yeah,
all
please
right,
call Mr. Goa perfectly.
Chris Goa. I won't get in trouble. All right. We have Oliver Sylvester, Randy Pee-wee. You know him very well. Toga as well. Toga Alexander. You know him well. You know Julius. And in Liberia with you is our senior host, Mr. Tomalin Nyenwolo George. He's in Liberia. And so Mr. Gonglo, go ahead with your first two questions.
Well, Thank you, Honorable Frank Safoko. It's good to see you on the platform for the first time. Since this is your first time appearing, I would just like for you to take a few minutes to talk about the current issues of concern from the perspective of the legislature vis-a-vis District 10. Because I listened to you on Freedom FM, I actually did. I also listened to you on different channels. But let's just be specific in terms of what are the current burning issues that are on your table that you advocating for now before we get into detail.
So thank you very much. One of the issue of concern right now in this country, one of the issues that really caught my attention today, a few days ago, I visited JFK. We have different challenges at JFK. And with those different challenges that we have at JFK, to see the Senate, spending, quote unquote, for what I just read on the pro tem page, that 50,000 United States dollar was used for a retreat. Do we need a retreat? Yes. Is retreat necessary for a new legislature or any administration? Yes. But understanding the different challenges that our people are faced with in the country, I think in my mind, retreat is necessary, but not now. It is not a matter of emergency. Why do I mean? The people that we represent in Liberia, they have their own challenges, like the issue of Tottenham, the issue of all other public schools, Nensedo, and other public schools in the country. Imagine with those different challenges we have in the country, to be spending 50,000, now for a retreat, while we have JFK, we don't have sufficient beds at JFK. In my mind, it doesn't make sense for now. Do we need it? Yes, we need it. Is it necessary now? I say no. Because the people that we represent, they are challenged. We claim that the economy is challenged. We claim that we couldn't put enough money in the budget for what, the kind of budget the president sent to us. The president claimed that through the information coming from LRA, there is not much money coming into the economy. So we couldn't make DEA a priority, the entity DEA, after the president announced drugs as a matter of emergency in the country. During the State of the Nation address, during the inauguration, he announced the issue of drugs. And he even announced and asked all of his ministers to go and do drugs tests. And looking at the money that was placed in the budget for an institution that does not have a single operational car to settle the issue of drugs in this country, they're going to spend 50,000 United States dollars to have a retreat, and the House of Representatives is to have a retreat as soon as possible. In my mind, it is not necessary at this time. So that is one of the trending issues in the country. Like, we look at the issue of those different institutions that look at fire service. We just had different fire disasters in Liberia where a lot of family members lost their homes. Government have not addressed one of those disasters in the country. Red Cross have not addressed one of those disasters in the country. The disaster management have not had one engagement with those different families that was affected, that were affected in this process. How now, as a government, most especially the first branch of government, most especially the first branch of government looking at the Senate, that is being taken care of by a rescue mother, that is being headed by a rescue mother, taking off 50,000 United States dollars, I mean, in my mind, it is not necessary now. In future to come, when the economy shall have settled, where we gave first preferences to those different institutions, then I believe in my mind we can come back to settle those issues of different retreat. What were they discussing at the retreat that was so important than settling the issue of JFK? I will tell you what happened at the retreat based on my intelligence. It was basically just an issue of reconciliation amongst themselves. It was just the issue of going to marry, make, chill, enjoy themselves, and sign up for what they could sign up for just to go and enjoy. So in my mind, it was not necessary now looking at the different challenges we have in the country. So right now, the issue of the retreat is really the issue of concerning the country. Then in subsequent time now, we come back to discuss other issues, other trending issues that I have had problem with since the ascendancy of President Joseph Newman Boakai. Thank you.
One more, Calibu. One more question.
All right. Thank you, Honor. Thank you. But what the Senate did, I'm sure the House is soon to follow. When we get to the House, we'd like to hear where your position will be on that. But I'm going to go back to this issue on the Western Cluster. There is a letter from the Minister of Public Works. Have you seen that letter copy? Have you read that?
No, sir.
But have you heard about that?
I heard about it in gossip. But
the letter
I have not read the letter content of the communication.
Okay. All right. So, but did you follow when President Boakai, in an interview in the street in Monrovia, I believe he was participating in Monrovia City Corporation cleanup campaign, either the drainage or something, and he said, I am going to stop Western Cluster. They are destroying our road. Did you watch that video?
Network issue. He's gonna come back on. There you go.
And yeah, when he just spoke that he was definitely going to put stop to their operations.
Yes. You listened to that?
Yes, when he said that he was going to put stop to their operations.
So Honor, here is my question. The president said that 3 days later, I believe 3 or 4 days later, the Minister of Public Works wrote the company basically shutting down the shipment of their ores. And the president left for South Korea. Why in South Korea? And it is my understanding through Freedom FM that the company executives came and met President Boakai before his departure for South Korea. Why in South Korea, the Minister of Public Works then grant the permit to lift ore. And it is my understanding that when they are lifting the ore, if I actually seen the video on this, the police, the Liberian National Police, escort 22 trucks to the Freeport of Monrovia. Nothing has changed. The president said they were destroying the road. They were doing everything. The executive of the company met the president before leaving for South Korea. Then his minister. The president was the one that gave the instruction for his minister lifting the ban without any explanation as to what has changed since the ban was lifted. Was imposed. You as a representative, what is your plan? Do you intend to call? Do you see any violation here or any improprieties? What are you going to do as a representative?
So first of all, when the president spoke that they should shut this place down, he will make sure that this place is closed. I thought the president, the way he spoke was not right because that place went through legislation. And it was something that was established in this country by law. So the president, as the president of the Republic of Liberia, that is not a personal farm. That is not a personal home for which he will just shut down. If there are issues, before they are coming into being in this country, whatever agreement or arrangement from the executive it came to the legislature, and the legislature went through its processes to make sure that those people operate in the country. So if there are issues, I think the president can also go through the same channel. Going forward, as the president of the Republic of Liberia, maybe, I don't know why he did that, but maybe let's assume that he may have had the same belief that I have with Metal Steel in Buchanan, in Grand Bassa County and Nima County. I still believe that Metal Steel operation in Liberia is not benefiting the Liberian people, most especially those places that they are operating. To see Metal Steel in Liberia operating and still living in those homes that were constructed in Grand Bassa by Lango when I was not born, they are still occupying those homes, and they are operating a construction in this country, and those guys are also putting people in continue to live. It does not make sense. I still argue that issue today. I argued it yesterday in the 54th legislature, and I still stand by my word today that those people are not living in keeping with the agreement, most especially when it comes to the social corporate responsibility, most especially when it comes to developing the area for which they have their concessions. So let's go back to where President Bouaka had issue. Let's assume that that may have been his issue, that these guys are operating and they are not doing, most especially by law, what they agree with the government on. But what I think the president would have done was not just to shut the place down. The president would have gone through the legislature to make sure that we look as to do those different verifications like the speaker has already done when the speaker took over. He set up a team that have been going from one concession to another concession to make sure and re-verify those different concessions that were passed yesterday to make sure whether those people are living in accordance with the different agreement they have with the government of Liberia. So I believe in my mind, by the public welfare minister going to put stop or put halt to the process, or by the president putting halt to the process, I don't know why they did it because I have not read the communication. But like we said, a committee has been set up by the speaker, J. Fonati Kofa, to go into the matter. And that committee will come to report because the decision was made in open plenary, and they will come back and make their report to us with their different recommendations. And then plenary will make a decision on the way forward for those different concessions, Western Cluster, Metasi, and other concessions in this country. So as we await them, at President Bouaka's side, I don't know why he did that, but our team of people that were appointed are already on the matter. So we don't want to cross in front of what they are already doing because we don't want to assume we operate within the lines of facts.
All right. Let's go to Sylvester. I know he got to run, so let's give Sylvester an opportunity to ask his question. On the ring.
Yeah, thank you. I will stay follow the show if I get to my destination in like 20 minutes or so. Honorable Foucault, let me salute you, Uncle. Traditionally, I would have to say the other side of it, but I'm thrilled, actually. Ever since you took over District 9, you did that in the interest of our revolutionary sister. You playing exactly the role she thought to play, and part of the role you even more aggressive in terms of your thought process and representation. Let me open it, honor you for that today, and appreciate your representation as a very firm individual. But most of what you said, Honorable, Article 34 of the Constitution of our country give you the powers as an individual lawmaker, a group of lawmakers, to take some critical decision in allowing situation to unfold. I believe you're going to make use of that instrument of our Constitution very well. But one thing I want to say here, and clearly it's not like a caution for me, there's absolutely nothing. I just, as you said something about the retreat, people going to marry me, the basic definition of retreat is to leaving your comfort zone, trying to go and trying to brainstorm and put into place some major policy issue. Legislative retreat. We in the partisan area particularly, legislative retreat are meant for the individual to leave and go and reflect on major policy processes in terms of how you want to look at certain laws that are not doing well for the country, or what are some administrative issues that bother the Liberian Senate.
Peewee, have you realized the representative screen is dark?
Yes, I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's basically Thank you for reminding me. But
he's having some network issue, and if you continue to talk, I doubt that he's gonna get the question.
I think you can still hear him. I think
Representative, let's confirm that. Representative Foco, can you hear?
You're right, Lofa. I think he got some technical problem.
Because I can see it. I know what I'm looking at. But just you can leave and come back. You can leave and come back, and that way we'll be able to get you on. If you're listening on the radio, see, that's why we say when you have the opportunity to ask a question, don't read out your autobiography.
No, but that's not. I'm not asking question. No, that's not reading out of that. Lofa, stop that, man. You want to take that back?
No, I
ain't taking nothing back.
You want to take that back, Lofa? You want to take that back, Lofa?
No, I don't want to take it back. Not
I would think it would be prudent.
When I get we discuss it. I'll take it back.
If I try to read as you claim just now, I don't think we'll. I don't intend to.
Man, Sylvester, go ahead, my man. You have to lay your premise, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's why I said you.
They're not ready. You can come back tomorrow.
All right, Chairman John, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
You didn't say that on Kelebu. Talk all the long study is busy. That's you say that.
That one is always greater than so you support this Sylvester.
No, but the man can't hear now. The man got internet.
Yeah, but the representative still having problem with internet. We still have
the Megan car right now.
I'm taking my guess.
You could call him up directly, maybe on WhatsApp while he's trying to adjust.
Yeah, we could do it on the phone.
Yeah, we could do that.
I mean,
if I can get now,
while he's trying to adjust, you call him direct also on WhatsApp.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, let me call him on WhatsApp.
So we can get him on two ways. Yeah,
I'm dropping. Peabody quickly while he's doing that. I'm dropping my girls to the carnival, so probably I will join in 15 minutes again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you my time just for the Lofa Julius.
That since Tomalin is in studio, Tomalin calls him or directly on local line.
Okay,
and we get in there. We get in on the.
That's the internet wahala in the bureau, and Dr. Monova will solve this problem.
Exactly.
You know, somebody told me that Grace recruited me, right? So I'm getting sensitive about that. Dr. Monova
are going to kick the ground.
You will stop the problem.
Things are going to be solved just like that.
I will join you guys in 20 minutes.
Stuff quick.
All right.
Thank you.
Hoping the representative will come back on.
Okay.
All right.
But then let's go to Grace. Since Grace came, and then we'll go to Robert.
Yeah, but the representative is not here. But I mean, with the retreat.
Come back. I'll just go ahead and ask you a question.
Why not go with maybe what's on our mind? Why is trying to connect?
Why the representative? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go with what's on our minds, and then when the representative come on, then we can ask our questions. I think it will help out.
Okay, so I would say with the retreat, I'm not surprised because these people are the same old people, recycled politicians, who are most of them being in the Senate, and they have not done nothing for the counties. Grand Bassa County is still sitting there. The government hospital is still dilapidated. The Senate pro tem has not done nothing in the years that she has been sitting now in the Senate position. She takes the money and travel with her friends and have fun. So we don't expect anything from this government. So I'm not surprised with the retreat. I'm just surprised that they're just giving information on conflicting budget. One group of people say 700,000, the next group of people say 50,000, and then they give each senator $10,000. What in a small country like Liberia, you go into a retreat in Liberia? Why do you need 50,000 when roads are being flooded? Water system bad. Why do you need 50,000 to go and do what? So and that's one of the things. And thank God the representative is here again. But these are the things that destroy Liberia. But I wanted to ask the Representative Foco, we thank you for coming here because most of your people in the house, they are afraid to come here. And when people like you come here, we have a vast amount of respect for you because we know that now you are in the interest of the people, so you are willing to come on these media platforms to answer to your Liberian people. So we appreciate you coming here. And I really want to thank you for that. And I just wanted to ask you, as the government has proceeded, we see that they travel to the U.S. that the people don't say enter in flat. Every time the president make a trip, it doesn't. I mean, nothing works out. South Korea, we still cannot get anything substantial, while other countries left there with millions of dollars, in deals and stuff. Liberia left there with nothing but just, empty promises. And now we see that, every other thing that going right. I know you serving I think you were a sedition before, but I want you to compare and contrast. What do you think that George Weah did differently when it comes to Joseph Boakai, especially in the first 6 months?
So thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry, Sylvester, I didn't get you when we were talking, and I want to say sorry to everybody, most especially those who are following us on social media and the radio. So what President Weah did in 6 months that President Boakai has failed to do, the writings are written all on the walls, all along Broad Street and all along the corridors. So to be honest with you, I am surprised. Why am I surprised? I'm surprised because of the form and manner in which these guys were sophisticated in propagating their different propaganda messages, purporting themselves to be very experienced. Very experienced. They got all of the qualification, all of the education, and they projected themselves to be very patriotic than any other person that was serving or who have ever served this country. So President Boakai succeeded in making Madame Sirleaf to have appear like she did not love this country. If you have had the opportunity to have been president, he would have done better than Madame Sirleaf. He also succeeded coming in with that same sorrowful story and making Liberian people to believe that when the opportunity is given to him, he has everything that is required. He just needed the opportunity. Now that they have given the opportunity, what's the difference between he and President George Weah in 6 months? So in 6 months, quote unquote, President George Weah administration, the people were not educated. President Boakai administration, the people are educated and they are experienced. George Weah administration, they were not educated, they were not experienced. So they're not as experienced and not educated as compared to the experienced and educated. In 6 months, President George Weah was able to give the university free education in 6 months. In 6 months, all of our government schools around Liberia, absolutely, they were operating on a free of charge basis. In 6 months, at the University of Liberia, we had the internet service and the portal system, the e-portal system that was set up at the identical University of Liberia, for which I saw for many years. While attending the University of Liberia, used to stand up online to plan my courses. To even get my grade sheet, I will have to stay online for over 2-3 hours to receive my grade sheet from my department. But at this time, in 6 months, President George Weah was able to do that. And President George Weah was able to set up a system for which the issue of electricity in the first 2 months, the first 2 to 3 months was a challenge. President Weah took over in January. Between January to March, we had a little challenge within the electricity, but within 4 to 5 months, the issue of electricity was stable in the country. Within that time, President George Weah was able to secure, I stand to be corrected, 40 million when he went to Paris. He was able to secure some amount of money. I will still come back with that information just within 6 months. Within his same 6 months, President Boakai came to power. President Boakai went to the United States of America. He took a lot of people there. They used our taxpayer money, electricity, even in rainy season. It stayed off and on in rainy season. We were operating around, I think, 50 megawatt or kilowatt, whatever it is. They got their technical term for that. But now they have dropped it up. They have dropped it down to 22. But during George Weah regime, it left from down to 18 and it went all the way to 50. So within 6 months, George Weah was able to achieve on that. In the same 6 months, President Boakai went to Africa. For President Boakai going to Africa, they took it from 50, they brought it to 22. So it was a minus. President Bouaka went to America. He used the taxpayer money. He just came to tell us that he attended the conference. The conference was good. It was a business conference. And that was the end of the lecture. And while President Bouaka was leaving this country, his commerce minister brought an information that caused economic sabotage in this country, where the cup of rice was increased, the bag of rice was increased from $16.50 to $21.20 in Buchanan for $22.23, which is 4,000 Liberian dollars. And I don't want to talk about the people in Bokonjile, the people in Grand Gile, the people in River Cells, River G, and other parts of Liberia. This is just in 6 months. In 6 months, these guys put an allegation on George Weah here, and they said that President Weah took $16 billion that got missing. President Weah invited an international group from the United States of America to come and conduct investigation, to come to the realization that that was lie within 6 months. In 6 months' time, President Bouaka was giving money. He and his public works minister, they just stole $22 million. They said they were buying dust to go and put on a dusty road. Imagine our own dust we have in the country. The former public works minister left 100 equipments that they claim that we don't have money to maintain them. Because of that, they also say, and they gave a contract to a company to go and maintain those roads, for which he gave 22 million United States dollars, only because he wanted to prove a point. Just in 6 months, President Bouaka and his public works minister, they just ate 22 million. Just like that, he went to the Senate, he apologized, but he will be with us tomorrow at the House of Representatives. And I don't want to tell you what will happen tomorrow at the House of Representatives. And watch what will happen. Within 6 months, President Bouaka has created the eye and dry system in Liberia to show that the government is very disorganized. The information ministry will say something else, and the executive mansion will say something else. And Senator Dillon, as another information minister, will say something else. And at the same time, Nyenwolo Kanga will say something else. Today, President Bouaka will act, he will appoint somebody. Tomorrow, another person will go and they will subtract, you know. So it's an eye and drop system has been operating. Within 6 months, President Bouaka has violated our constitution by appointing people into tenure positions, for which I believe that the president should be impeached. At this time, I'm talking to you, we've been working with our legal team, a group of responsible people, legal-minded people from behind the scene. As soon as possible, when we complete the process, and at the same time, we are also using our lobbyistic influence with our colleagues on the floor to make sure that when we are done with this process from behind the scene, when our legal people done with writing the paper, President Bouaka should be impeached, and he will be impeached. I can assure you. So basically, within 6 months, there has been massive corruption, complete stealing, real stealing. Let us not make it fun to say corruption. There have been raw-based stealing. President Bouaka and his children, they've been enjoying private jets, passing all around the place while they were sitting here criticizing all those things. During the same time, just look at the issue in this country. It is the first time in the history of this country that educated people operating a junta force government. You know what they call junta force government? Even a man who was a military man that took over the government of Guinea, a military man, was very organized to call a cabinet retreat and make those people to understand that he will work with them in subsequent time. He will conduct investigation and do an audit wherever he found necessary. Where the audit catch you or whatever the case is, he will get you off that play and replace you. That is a military government. Imagine a government that people went to the polls and voted for. This man, this President Bouaka, this president here sat in this country where a chairman for the party, Prince Moe, the guy operating a clique. Imagine the president also his appointment power to that team. Those guys will go to an entity and say, you are not to be here today. The president say, you're not working here. We'll bring the man to put you in this place. Imagine, I have been so embarrassed with this government to the extent that I have 1 or 2 engagements in Ethiopia, and with the way Liberia has been trending on social media with a lot of different bad governance practices. Okay? I have been embarrassed about this. So like I said, in subsequent time, but in 6 months, this government has failed. It is written all on the wall. Electricity now, as I speak to you, I'm on generator. I'm on generator. The issue of drugs now, the people claim that what the first drugs we hire. We have another drugs they say we have in this country. But now they have taken coups from the market now. President Bwaka just brought zombie. And the zombie, you know how the zombie operates? You can be walking and you're jogging and you're coming down with your head and you're jogging. The zombie is very bad. And now they appointed all of those educated and experienced guys at DEA, LDA. Imagine that place looking like a rebel junta. You know that the way rebel king in town, and one man operating across Freeport, the other man operating across this side. You get Prim Way, get fire in your hand, you running finance ministry. You get Joseph Bwagason, he put it on a fire on the eye, passing around, you want to be rest dealer. You got Jeremiah Kun as a vice president. He in Ghana making arrangement to be selling all in the country. The government wants to be the player. The government wants to be the referee. And these are the reasons we're coming to impeach President Bwaka. And President Bwaka will be impeached. I don't want to go to the issue about a continuous disrespect to the former president of this country. We'll get to that issue and we'll compare President Bwaka by law to respect George Weah. If he does not get a law, we can assure President Bwaka that we'll respond to him from the legislature. Thank you. I hold it as small. I get bucket. I get plenty in here. I'm just disappointed that I came on late, but I get whole book here tonight for Bwaka to tell you where Bwaka has failed this country.
Let me go to Robert next.
No.
No, great.
You have not done your second,
I want to ask one question, so I will not ask another question, but I just wanted to make a quick statement. The reason why I wanted you to speak onto that, although I feel personally that President Weah government was very unsophisticated, but I wanted you to tell it like, bro, although it was, but in this Wakata, like, bro had digressed. So I wanted you to explain that with all George Weah's own sophistication, his government was able to do way better in the first 6 months than Joseph Bwaka, who have all the experienced people in that. So I just wanted you to leave. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Robert, go ahead. Then we'll go to Too Many in studio, and we'll come to Ben. Then we'll go to
Peabody, I beg you. I'm about to hop on my flight. I just wanted to. I beg you.
Always coming on the fly.
Hey, my man, wait, my man. I wanted
every day, man.
I just wanted to send a revolutionary shout out to my brother, Foko. I couldn't have waited. I mean, Foko and I go way back, and I'm extremely proud of him. He's fighting a good fight. Focus, stay consistent, keep your eye on the ball, and you have our continuous support. Tomalin will be coming to visit you in Monrovia with a special message. He's coming with a special message to you. So I just wanted to say that, guys, thank you for holding the platform. I will see you guys on Friday because I'm about to hop on a flight. Robert, stop hating, Robert. Man, what a problem. I see you guys. Thank you.
Robert, good to see you, Ben. Good to see you. Safe flight, buddy. Robert, go ahead.
Doc, I know you're the moderator, but Lofa here before me. I won't let Lofa go now.
No, Lofa.
No. That Peabody. We'll talk about that in the back. Let
I'm not buying it yet, so Lofa got a hold of.
Lofa the host here today. Why you worrying yourself, Lofa?
Okay, thank you. Representative Frank, it's great to see you. We kind of crossed paths. A few weeks ago, I was in Liberia. I was at the foreign ministry in the passport section. I was in the director's office. I didn't say anything to you. Didn't say anything to me. But I think you came in to get passport for your children, and I watched what was happening. But it's great to see you. Welcome to the platform. I read your post the other day where you was talking about the House of Representatives not receiving its benefits for the past 5 months, and you specifically said that the executive have withheld those benefits. I want you to expand a little bit on that comment. Does the executive have the power constitutionally, legally, to withhold the benefits of members of the House of Representatives? I want you just to expound on that a little bit, and why do you think that they're doing that? And also, while you speak on that, is it just towards CDC lawmakers, or is all of the representatives been affected by this? I think you're muted.
Yeah, thank you. So, so let me start answering the question from whatever the case is. If you see the executive, you ask the question, why are they doing that? President Bouaka personally reached out to me. The vice president of the Republic of Liberia reached out to me the election when we're having the speakership election. And there are a lot of people who reached out to me. And I told them my decision was I was going to support Fonati, and you asked me today, I will also support Fonati today. As far as I'm concerned, my confidence in Fonati is very high. He's a leader, he's an administrator, he's very organized, and he is not a corrupt man. So this is what is happening. Let me give you the ball game from behind the scene and tell you the politics. You know, it's just mathematics, but I'm going to take it from behind the scene and bring it outside. You know, you have a clique in this country. That clique, you see Jeremiah Kong, the vice president. You see Prince Mui. Nyombli Kanga just joined the clique, the protest. She just joined the clique. She wasn't in the clique before, but she just joined the clique. You see Nyombli Kanga. You see this guy they call Kafia, but now he's not in the legislature anymore. He just lost to Johnny Bay. That clique. So what they cleverly did, the only person that this senator from Bon County did not appoint or didn't influence the process to appoint him at the finance ministry is a finance minister. But every other minister, including assistant minister at the finance ministry, was appointed by Prince Mui. So Prince Mui knows why he went there. He strategically placed all of his guys to that place. So this is what happened. They speak is to enrich themselves. This is how those guys get rich. Where Jeremiah take money from to sponsor election. Jeremiah Kung was a representative like the way I'm a representative. Jeremiah Kung was a senator for 3 years. We got elected at the same time. Where did he take money from to sponsor the election of Joseph Bouaka? It is because of some of those deals and the clique that they have established behind the scene. So realizing the fact that the speaker now will not adhere to their art of Konyism, that will affect the Liberian people, that will have a negative trickle-down effect on the lives of the people. So their greater mission here now, for the fact that they could not succeed to stop him from being elected by us. So what they intended to do, for which they are doing, they have succeeded in doing that, is to strangulate him from finance ministry. For example, the Senate have gotten everything, including, imagine, we didn't get benefit, but the Senate got benefit plus a retreat money. And you know what happened to that place? The executive controls the finance ministry, and you know that. So they use their influence to delay the process, for which they can never stop. If they like, they can drag us to December. As far as I'm concerned, I will impeach President Bouaka. If he likes, he should not buy my car. I can assure them on Tuesday or Thursday of next week, we are up to 15 lawmakers. We are riding Keke to go to Capitol Building. And we pass in front of the mansion with Keke because we do not have car to go to work. We ride Keke. So they have succeeded in strangulating the speaker so that the speaker and his members, they want his members to get angry, to believe that he's not working in their interest to make sure they get to get their entitlement by law. So they decide to pass behind the scene, strangulate, so that we can get angry and you will find noise in the place. But we understand the game. We know the game. It's a test game the old man is playing with us. So we are not going to get angry. So when they notice that we have gone 5 months, we are not disturbing the speaker because we understand the game. We are not doing this. They decided to use those unity party lawmakers within the legislature to bring noise on the speaker, believing or accusing the speaker to now work in their interest, to not do this. And now they decide to spin it politically to make it to a PLA CDC lawmakers want to remove Fonati, which is not truth. That is not true. So the politics here now is to press a record that will bring pressure in the legislature on the speaker, and then you start to find noise and other things in the legislature. But we will not make noise in the legislature. But what we do for President Bouaka on Tuesday or Thursday of next week, we're going to get in our keke because we tired renting cars to go to work. We'll get in our keke. Some of us will ride our motorbike. I'm a former motorcyclist. We'll ride our motorbike. We'll go to work because our people elected us to work for them. So not because of Bouaka being very insensitive to the plot of the legislature in making sure that we execute our three cardinal responsibility. So we will not suffer our people by not going to work. We'll go to work, but we'll use our keke to go to work for our people. But as we are working for our people, President Bouaka should understand in the legislature, we are here to support. We are all three branches of government. We are working with the judiciary. We are definitely going to work with the executive, for which we've been doing. But President Bouaka should understand that there will be no free ride. What's supposed to happen by law will happen by law. The reason we have not held their neck to the fire for a very long time, for which now they see now the PAC is working, asking for all of those necessary documents. We are asking for their performance report with the first 41 million we get to Bouaka, and Bouaka know within a given time we have set up a policy, and after every 3 to 4 months, there will be performance report from every minister that will be given to the legislature in keeping with the budget that was passed. So the men believe that with the kind of system that have been set up by Fonati Kofa, they believe that they will undermine Fonati Kofa because Fonati Kofa system set up at the legislature, which is good, is about to expose their corrupt plan that they have to rig this country. These guys know that 2029, they are not coming to power already. They are already aware. I'm only sorry that those young guys in the Unity Party are allowing this old man who is operating on a king's eye. You can what the thing is there. That thing what they put in the man in peace bigger, eh? The man is operating that way. Who can leave us anytime for? But those young people are sitting there to allow this old man to misuse them, that they will not have the face tomorrow to survive or live. But we are not coming back to pay them. We are assuring the Liberian people that George, we are coming back to the presidency. It's a walk in the park, and my prayer is for Bouaka today, so that we can still discuss the issue of the VIP laws, even though the disrespect from Bouaka, George, we are about stopping him from using the VIP laws, from getting everything that is required for him as a former president. We'll put everything in order beginning next week.
Thank you. So, Dr. Peabody, I want to ask another question. I know the time is far spent, so I will hold up for right now. Let the other guys ask questions.
What's Lofa? I want Lofa to come with a question before I go to Tomalin. Where's Lofa? Is Lofa there? All right. Lofa, are you around? Come on. Okay. When he come, I'll give you the next chance. But Tomalin, go ahead. Tomalin, go ahead. Tomalin, we're waiting for you.
Representative Foko, it's good to see you, and I look forward to meeting you again. But my question is, first of all, let me say this. During the election of the pro tem, CDC had the votes. They had a lot of votes. We expected that we would put out a fight. They fell short. They elected the pro tem on a white ballot. And then Fonati election as speaker, I mean, it was just that you guys and others held your caucus together, and you voted for Fonati. We were a close race. So, with that being said, how confident are you that the CDC lawmakers, especially in the Senate and the House, can stay to hold together to accomplish some of the things you are saying you guys want to do? I mean, what's your reliance that the Senate, senators, and the CDC senators and the law and representatives, how confident are you that you have the numbers? It's all about a number game to hold together and to ensure that what you are saying, you guys are going to implement it. While waiting for the representative to come back, it's been confirmed by Prince Moy that they actually receive. I think they spent about $350,000. I think he said each of them got 10,000 plus the. So we check all the kingdom, almost 350K, And that's appalling. And that's urban Liberians should condemn it in the strongest term. It's not fair to do of Liberia and to come and to see the situation in the country. It is true though. Since I mean, I noticed the internet is a challenge in the country right now. Electricity is a challenge, and so forth. And you see what's happening. It's just appalling. And again, I always say we have a responsibility to ensure that we address this issue, bring it forefront to on our platforms, because the people are really going through a lot, and we cannot sit there and allow our people who we depend on, the lawmakers that we depend on, to just do things with all showing no remorse or so. And again, I repeat, what happened in Bassa is just unacceptable. No one should spend such a money just for a retreat, and so it's just not fair. And then I think we should all use our platform to speak on it, use our and ensure that the people of Liberia get the message, because in a few years we go to election again, people will be and mind you now, most of the people in the Senate they are thinking about running for president. You have about 3-4% going for president in 2029. If we don't call them out, people will be misled. But Representative Folk is coming back, so I hope you can answer my question.
For the senator to come back, once he gets better internet, he will come back. But while he's preparing to come back, we just want to Alex to chime in here. When he comes back, we'll go back to you, Tomalin, so you can ask your question.
Yeah.
Well, I would have liked to thank you for having me to ask the representative some questions. So would I have the opportunity when he comes?
Yeah, but as we were saying, I think Yumli cannot just eat you. Okay, I see him in the back. Okay, he's back now. So we'll go to you 2 minutes after that question, then we'll come to Alex to ask his question.
Yeah, Timberlane. I mean, you were asking question about how sure am I, right?
Tomalin, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Tomalin. So we got to move on. Okay.
Yeah, Representative Folk, I was asking. I said, it's over the number of games. Do you have the numbers in the Senate and the House to carry on what you want to do, what you plan to do? Because we saw the election of pro tem. CDC had the numbers, but they didn't put up a fight. They surrendered the fight, and they had a white ballot election for pro tem. Now the House Representative, again, maybe you there, you can speak better about it. But do you have the numbers in both houses though to implement what you want to do?
Yes, Timberlane, we have the number in the House of Representatives in pinch the president. And if you ask me today again, I am disappointed in those senators for not taking that position. We have everything it takes. I don't know what kinds of politics that will play behind the scene. However, we support our senators from the CDC and other like-minded senators who are there that also support the agenda of opposition. We support them, we encourage them, and we know that as soon as possible, there are a lot of stuff they've been working on. We have had a lot of legislative engagement, most especially when it comes from the opposition bloc. So we've been doing our different network from behind the scene, and this is why we've not been really hitting up, because we needed to have done everything it required behind the scene. And then when we hit this stage, actually there will be no extra negotiation. So we are good from the House of Representatives, and the Senate, we are also good. So the chairman for the CDC Legislative Caucus is Chairman Nathaniel Falomage, who has been doing a very good job with the caucus. He has also been reaching out to other independent and other opposition members from the Senate. So there are a lot of work he's been doing behind the scene. He has also been working with the Speaker and other members of the legislature who did not vote for Fonati before, and the number now for Fonati has increased. The first number we had that voted for Fonati, the number have increased. We have over 40 members in the House of Representatives that if you have election today, we have over 45 members that will be voting for Fonati as Speaker of the House of Representatives. So for the Senate, with everything we have done behind the scene, we are very sure about what we are doing and what we are going to. We are not going to bow down on this. We're going to make sure that we impeach President Bouaka for being so insensitive, most especially when it comes to abusing the abuse of power.
Right. Tony, you got one more question. Go ahead.
Yeah, my last question. Yes, I know I was driving from the airport yesterday, and I heard you on one of the local stations. And so, can you just address, maybe just for the next, maybe in 2 minutes, lay to rest the issue about people planning to remove the speaker and we're being put together? Can you just address it?
I'm sorry that you just, but I just gave the entire strategy. All of those things, there is nothing happening to remove Fonati. Absolutely nothing is happening. All of those strategy and propaganda came from Unity Party. They want to distract the Liberian people, and one of their distractions was just about the recent retreat that they just had, where they used, according to them, 50,000, but we know it's not 50,000. They use more than that. Like I said, do I support the retreat? Yes, the legislature should have a retreat. Is it necessary now? I said, no, it is not necessary. But the way the president has just started misusing our money and jumping from America to Korea, and he's just passing all around the place. We're telling the president, let him stay away from Africa. Africa was giving up 50 megawatt. Now they have dropped it to 22 because of one visit. We don't want him to go back over again for the minute to take it from 22 to bring it down to maybe 15. As I speak to you, we're in a rainy season now. As I speak to you, Single is off, Masa is off. I'm running a generator right now. But how many ordinary people have money to buy their own generator to operate? But Bouaka doesn't care. Once Bouaka has a generator to a house, his children ride him, private jet passing all around. His son has a ghetto right by a house. They call no stress. And they increase the fence to another level. President Bouaka doesn't care. Jeremiah Kun has gone to Ghana. He has made an arrangement to be supplying his own oil in Liberia. They have no issue. Amin Moda just created a problem in their country. They increase the price of rice. They got no issue. But we are assuring them the 22 million of Bouaka and the public welfare minister just stole. That money was not misappropriated. They stole that money. They did not go through the PPCC process. And the minister will be with us as soon as possible. The communication was written by one of my colleagues, and that boy will be in the House of Representatives. That boy will tell us, how can you tell us that you go buy dust, you go buy mud? Our own mud we have in the country, you buy mud, 22 million to go and face the road. Now the road that they claim they face, they were passing all around with Facebook. I challenge them to go back on that same road now, to take pictures from that road to post it. What kind of foolishness is this? This is complete foolishness. What kind of upside down government is it? The government is totally upside down. And what I'm saying to you, there is nothing here. There is no threat here to remove Fonati. Fonati remains the speaker for the next 6 years. No CDC lawmaker wants to remove Fonati. The independent candidates in the House, they have confidence. There are people within Unity Party who are also supporting Fonati. If you have election today, Fonati will have over 45 people that will vote for him to be a speaker. So that was just a strategy to divert our attention from the money they went to Canada to enjoy themselves, to go on their safari. You know, nobody has the newest beautiful girl in town. Taylor is the newest brother wearing all the new colorful socks in the country here. Going Korea and go wear colorful socks in Korea. He going to the other plane just wearing colorful socks. They just start dressing their feet there, and all kind of mess teenager happening in the country. The bought cigarette smoking has increased. The man is just misbehaving in this country. They don't is misbehaving, and they don't have to come to order. He just passing all around the place, creating problem. But that is not the issue. The issue here is the government is very insensitive to the plight of the Liberian people, and this government must solve our problem. And in order to solve our problem, they have to be honest to the people that they serve.
Senator, before actually we will have I will come in with a question, and then we'll go to Toga before we'll go to Alex. Toga have been waiting patiently. But let me ask this question. You just talk about the Senate, the public work. It was the same old Senate. Dylan was leading that in the chamber that day that passed. They voted, a pleader for the public work minister, even though he violated the PVCC law. But they were the same one in the Senate that were backing that, they're going to give him grace so that he can move on. And Dylan was leading that. I mean, how will you respond to such an embarrassing and disgraceful after this guy admitted?
Tomalin, Not Tomalin, but Dr. Peabody. Dylan is a role. Dylan is an organized, sophisticated, hardcore role. And I will tell you what Dylan is doing in this government. No, Dylan is the most fake politician I've ever appeared. Dylan really fooled the people of Colorado County. But I know Dylan is not contesting. Dylan is on his way to Grand Bassa. He wants to contest in Grand Bassa. He wants to be senator in Grand Bassa, but we are japping him there where I was born. Dylan, you register to contest in Bassa, but you're not going to campaign in Bassa. I can assure you on that. I got properties in Bassa. I'm a son of Bassa, and the same condition you apply in Colorado, you will not apply that. But what we are saying, that is in the Senate. And I am also disappointed in opposition senators in the Senate that will allow that guy to come and allow Dylan to coin them and this guy, but we are inviting this guy to the House of Representatives. Let him come to apologize the way he apologized, sir, and know whether governance require apologies or it require you buying by the laws of this nation. And anybody who goes against the law, trust me, no, we have voted no confidence in our idiot who stole the raw money, and he and Bwaka had divided that money already. We have voted no confidence, but we are waiting for this guy to come to the legislature and watch the show in the legislature. And any attempt, you watch our in record, chief, we might be suspended or expelled for working for the Liberian people, but we speak truth to power, and we will not renege on this.
Toga coming. Then we'll go to Alex Ujo.
Thank you, Dr. Peabody, and let me say greetings to everybody on the show and greetings to Representative Frank Safoko. You know, Frank Safoko and myself come from very way back. We went to school together to St. Peter Clever Catholic School in Buchanan. In fact, we play on the school's team together. He was our goalkeeper, and I used to play in the Mayfield. So we come from a very long way from the same school. I'm very proud of Representative Foucault and the job he's doing on Capitol Hill. Let me come in. I'm very, first of all, concerned about the fact that you talk about, and we just raised that as a breaking news on the closing arguments page about the issue of you and some of your colleagues planning to use Keke to work. Is it that serious? Because on one of the shows you just appeared on, you said you've not gotten your allowances and some of your benefits for the last 5 months. Now, as a representative, I think you also might be getting some intelligence from the Senate. And one of the issues you've always raised is that your colleagues in the Senate are getting similar benefit, but you're not getting that benefit. And all of you should be on par. What do you think is happening? Why do you think the executive is doing this to you?
The executive is actually strangulating Funati because they don't want to support Funati. They want to put the House of Representatives against Funati. That's just a strategy, but that strategy, they have failed on that already. So the fact that they make us to understand that there was no money, or, you know, your line, they want to happen. But normally their own line was open in the Senate because normally is a rescue mother. Okay, so their line was open to the extent that the money is surplus. They did not divert the money to JFK, but they diverted the money all the way to Grand Bassa County. In Grand Bassa County, they bought and go enjoy themselves. These guys were chilling. And Senator Nyombli, my advice to you up to now, I mean, I don't know what's happening. But normally, with the way you guys were advocating yesterday, I saw Delon calling that play, rotten play was in the toilet. Right now, it's not in toilet. It's not in septic tank, but it gone in West Point toilet under the water. I play gone. The economy chakra in septic tank again. First, it was in septic tank, but now it's not in septic tank. It gone in West Point under the water. You know, West Point, the men can use that 0 rounds when they operate. It gone under the water. The economy now is rotting. And look, I wish one of you, let's take a tour in Liberia, go around the country and see what is unfolding. People not buying anymore. Things are not happening. Like one of my sisters told me today, she sold for a whole week and she just sold $500 Liberian dollars. Imagine that. No money. They bought in there enjoying themselves. But now go to the entertainment center to work, they don't can go to smoke. They don't can go to smoke on 18th Street. You go there now, they don't have graduated from smoking 1 pack or Marlboro in a day. Now you go now to 10 packs of Marlboro because the money plenty. Okay? So all these things are happening. These guys got to stop doing this kind of thing. They're just balling in a country where the ordinary men just suffering. Let JFK, no bed, no medication at JFK. You have Redemption Hospital. You have all the other hospitals. President George, we have left money in the budget. The road, the Robert International Airport Highway. Okay? Everything has stopped. Then look at the Redemption Hospital. Money left in the consolidated, the account for that. Nothing is going on. Everything is at a standstill. What the old man does, he travels from here, he can't bring the other nurse in the country, say he's bringing 285 yellow machine. How can a 42 years old experienced man who work in government does not know what it requires? But we already know a whole mission and what we do. We want it? Yes. If Bwaka is to bring those machines today, I want them. But do my district want 19 equipment? I said no. I don't want 19 equipment. Have you gone to do your survey to know what every district wants in Liberia? Have you communicated with every lawmaker and major stakeholders from every district to know what they want? That every district in the country wants 19 Caterpillar? Do we need it? Yes, but do we need 19? No. We need public high school in district number 9. We need running water in district number 9. We need electricity in district number 9. The kids are not going to school. We need to empower our market women in district number 9. We need to help the young people to develop programs within district number 9. We need a major library in district number 9 that our students will go to library. We don't need 19 yellow machine to park it where? Do we have a place to park that yellow machine 19? No, we do not. The 100 machine that is already parked at that place, we have requested for public work to come and do road maintenance in our district. They can do it. If they can maintain 100 machine, that 285 machine they will do they think that we don't know what we are doing in the legislature? But the government was smart to withdraw herself and said that they did not know what was happening about that. But we are very clear that the president wants to honor my Fonati, but we can assure President Bwaka the lie is June that quota defy us. There's a quota over there. If you want to create problem, you're not far from us. President Bwaka is right in the executive mansion that he doesn't know how to build that mansion, the tier he's sitting. He doesn't know how job we have bought that tier. But he sits in that place comfortably and want to cause problem in the legislature. We can assure Bwaka, if you want to be president, let him tell any fire is sent to always send us in fire. If the fire to remove this man, there will be a fire to remove him. Say he doesn't understand why it required to be a reconciler, why it required to be a peaceful president.
Now, from all you say tonight, I think, and I've realized also that this issue stems from the fact that this whole Fonati removal thing is really angering many CDC lawmakers. I can see the anger rating all over. Because, and the report out there is that it is you CDC lawmakers that are doing everything to remove your own speaker that you made. Now, but from what you're saying to us tonight, it seems like you CDC lawmakers seem to be very angry that the executive is playing games with you to remove the speaker. Is it like a game from all sides? Is it that you people from the CDC are the one orchestrating a plan to remove the speaker that you made?
Brother, we are totally angry. You know why we are angry? Because Bwaka is the most deceptive old man we have ever seen as president. This old man wants to create instability. He wants to bring confusion in this country. And we will not allow President Bwaka to succeed in doing that with us. So we are clear with their propaganda that we want to remove Fonati. We have come out to say that is a big, blatant lie. And that lie is from the belly of the devil. And we are saying Bwaka to take that lie back to his Mami Wata or wherever he took it from. We need to focus on good governance. And in order to have good governance, you must respect the other branches of government. As I speak to you now, the executive got issue. Not the executive, but the judiciary has issue. And you are aware. There was just a press release from the Supreme Court. So those people have issue. The judiciary have issue right now with the way Bwaka does not respect them when it comes to whatever that was done in keeping with their aim. So we are clear, Chief. We are not removing Fonati. There is no plan for CDC lawmakers to remove Fonati. And those guys who are creating all of those strategies to create confusion amongst us, we are aware of your game plan. We have your game plan. But as we speak to you, hopefully a few days from now, the impeachment. So as we want to take Fonati from there, We are also going for Joseph Boakai. And Joseph Boakai will be impeached as a president. He will be the shortest serving president in the history of Liberia.
All right. Alex, go ahead. A question. We'll come to Julius, and then we'll come to Telvi. Alex, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Foucault. Unfortunately, I do not have a record with you. I did not meet you at Foreign Affairs or know you. So this is my first time actually even hearing you. I've read about you and so forth. So maybe I'll be more objective. But it's good to have this. It's good seeing you here. Every time I see a young person in office or a young person in government, I'm very excited. So congratulations for coming here. Whether you agree with me or not,
Robert, the objective party.
Yeah, Alice is something else, man.
That you will be more objective.
Because he didn't meet him at the forum.
So whether I agree with you or not, or you agree with me, the fact remains this Liberia is a young country, and the movement to make Liberia better is pushing for young, charismatic, educated leader. I check your profile. You have a bachelor's degree in public relations. I think you're working on your master's. So I encourage you to continue with that. Now, here's my issue here. You are criticizing the amount for the Senate retreat. But that amount was in the budget that you signed. That amount is not, it just wasn't allocated today. I looked at your own budget and I see that the House of Representatives, the very fanatic Kofa, is receiving around $1.6 million as speaker. The deputy speaker, $500,000. Okay. Also in the Senate, they're getting $10 million this year alone. And there's about, I think, over 8 members of the CDC in the Senate. And you regularly said for your impeachment process, there's over 40 members. How come you can put forward, you can rally people up to put forward an impeachment process? You can pass a budget, but the condition of the people in your district, by every financial indication, Liberia is in abject poverty. No jobs, no food, nothing. Why there's nothing in the budget that Foneti Kofa or you would have put there for the poor, for the elderly, any of these things? That's my first question. And the second question here is, you rave about President George Weah's performances. Where are you getting your numbers from? Because when I look at the economy in 2018, 2019, the GDP was negative 1%, negative 2.5% in 2019, negative 3%. There was a protest in 2018 because of the bad governance and economic and corruption. So we are against Joseph Boakai. I agree. Joseph Boakai is not perfect. He should go. I agree. But my colleagues here listening to you saying that the Weah administration was great. The economy was great. Because I don't think it was. Yeah, you guys were getting paid over $200,000, and yet the economy, the people were suffering. You were having retreat. You were traveling. So don't you think it's a double standard on your part as a young man that only because it's Joseph Boakai now, so everything is bad? Thank you, sir.
So thank you, Chief. So basically, let me start from where you stopped. I want to believe that you came after I started the issue of the retreat. Am I against the retreat? No, I'm not. Is the retreat necessary? Yes, it is necessary. But I said no, it's not timely. It's not timely. That is my issue with the retreat. Yes, the House of Representatives should have a retreat as well. Okay? But I believe in my mind, it is not timely. So the issue that has to do with the economy of Honor George Weah and now, I was asked a question, what are those things that President Weah achieved on within 6 months as compared to President Boakai now? Am I correct, my sister? So that was my question. That was the question. So those things that President Weah did within 6 months, I was able to explain them, some of those achievements within 6 months as compared to now. I was able to explain within 6 months when he traveled, his first travel, what did Liberia benefit out of the first travel? What did we benefit on ground in keeping with different execution that happen in different institutions? I was able to, as compared to now, the 2 travels that the 2 major or 3 travels that President Bouaka have had since he took over. I subtract the other one from Ghana there because that one in Ghana, he went for treatment. So I'm put that one inside. But they went to South Korea, they went to America, and they went to Africa. He went to meet the government. And then I want to say to that, as compared to George Weah and now to Bouaka, there's a huge difference. Okay? Why didn't I say this? No, President Weah, when it comes to the economy, but yes, yesterday we spoke. I'm sorry, and I want to appreciate the fact that you said that it is the first time coming across me. But when I took over in 2021, I was elected in 2020 December, and I took over in 2021. I mean, there were a lot of different issues I addressed in this country. There were different ministers from different ministries and agencies that I invited that were not performing in my mind. I invited them and were able to play our oversight role at the 54th National Legislature. So we had these engagements yesterday. We are not like Delon yesterday, he was talking, but today he's not talking. He wearing all the colorful socks in the house there, and he's not saying anything. So let's come to the budget. I do not have problem, but what I'm saying, it is not timely. It is not timely. So what can we do now? And I told you, like for the budget, they didn't sign. My issue was the president was very deceptive with what he sent to us. How? The man sent a budget to us after the president declared state of emergency on the drugs in Liberia. The president can send us only the men in 1 3-bedroom area here in DA in my district here. The issue of Kush in Liberia. Now they did not just suppress Kush, but they added zombie onto Kush now. The entire country is upside down with drugs. The president said every minister from his ministry, from his government, will go to do drug tests. Have 50% of them gone to do drug tests? That's what. So almost everything this president has said to the Liberian people, in keeping with the different promises, he has failed on them. He told us, and his wife posted that on her page, that electricity was going to be stable in less than 20 days. President Bouaka went to Africa. In no time, the Ivorian government, I don't know why got them angry. They cut us from 50, they bring us to 22. As I speak to you now, our ordinary people are suffering. Okay? The electricity, normally when we're in this country, whether or not, whether you go Africa or not, once it is rainy season, our electricity becomes stable and almost every community receive electricity get connected. But now in this other rainy season, in fact, it is even worse than the dry season. Just to realize that for Bouaka visiting Africa, the old man subtracted some more from over it. So we don't want you to go by that because we don't want to get to deduct another thing from there. So what we are saying here, there were challenges in George Weah government, yes. Were there issues in George Weah government, yes. But what I'm saying today, as compared to that time, in the first 6 months, President Bouaka has failed massively. We say that today, we say that tomorrow, not because of politics, but the Liberian people are feeling the pinch of what is happening in government right now.
I don't know. I can do a quick follow-up.
But because of time, let go to Julius also. Yeah.
Representative Foucault, welcome to the closing argument. The young, energetic, ever fiery, burning, willing to engage young representative. But you speak of transparency often. Have you declared and published your assets?
I have not declared my assets, and I will not declare my assets.
Why?
I will not declare my assets.
Why?
The president go do secret asset declaration. And I'm writing the American government that this old man will have to publish their assets. You got to lead by example. We have to strengthen this country. Yes, to declare assets, I mean, everything is sealed and done. But from the day this old man did a secret declaration of assets, where he went in a room and he took one paper, he put it in file, and they did the ceremony from hand to hand. And up to today, we don't know what Bouaka was living on loan. Bouaka was living right behind there in one house in the government alley. We know that government land, but no problem. We gave it to him. He been operating. How now can Bwaka not tell us why he had people coming to the presidency? Why? So how the whole country operating now? The whole country operating on different things. So then the president open his asset. He got to open that asset for us to see. Why? He want to accumulate all his riches before he come and declare assets? This is wrong. This is wrong. It was wrong yesterday, and it is wrong today.
So in other words, and I don't want to state for you what you're insinuating, that in as much as
The man did not open your asset. You are aware he did not open your asset. That secret
right. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of, and I don't want to make this a back and forth. I'm aware of that. But you, as a change agent, the man who believe in transparency, the man who fight for integrity, good governance, you would think that you're supposed to be the one to educate him, even though he's the president, to set that example. Instead, you're saying because he's leading in the wrong direction, so I'm going to follow him. But then you want to play the advocacy, even though you're just doing just as bad as he's doing. I'll stop and ask my second question.
So you did okay? Go ahead with your second question. Let me just answer.
You can discuss both of them together. My second question is the issue of audits. Representative Musa Hassan Bedeli is pushing the argument that the House should be audited. What is your position on having an audit conducted in the House, and what would you do to push his request to have the House audited?
Chief, the first thing here is, everywhere should be audited. Mm-hmm. I grew up in a very organized home with a very good orientation. I have been in leadership from childhood up to present. I believe yesterday and today that the House should be audited. So I support Musa Bedete on that. And that was the campaign that our speaker ran on, that we're going to audit the House. So I supported him yesterday. I support him today. And I know those different processes that leads to having the House being audited. And I know what the speaker is doing now. It is not in secret, and Bedete is aware of that. So the issue that has to do with that, I'm telling you, trust me, Chief, I'm not saying that I won't, but I'm telling you my disappointment in the president. I'm not telling you that I won't. I have done everything that is required, and this old man, my disappointment in this old man is for this old man to go and wrap a sheep and choke him with a guy there, and in the corner wake behind the scene, make it to appear, and up to today, this old man cannot disclose after he told us you were living on loan. Just tell all your assets, how much you been owing, all the remaining banks. I don't know whether that all the banks you owing, or you owing one or two banks, or that only LBDR bank. You need to tell all those things so that we can know who we're operating with. So obviously, you know that I will declare my asset, and I will definitely do that.
Okay.
Let's go to Telvi. Telvi, ask the question.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Glad to be on. What's the name, Foco? Representative Foco, glad to have you. I don't think I've shared the space with you before, but I've heard of you and listened to you. I like the energy, fiery. Sometimes it makes me wonder where the energy was 6 years ago, and what all the all of this, all the words that coming up of accountability and good governance was. But here we are, fast forward, that's what we call for change, right? So I agree with you on the issue of the 50,000. When I did my math, regardless of it being 50,000 or 700,000, from a point of timeliness, yes, it wasn't timely. But I also took it one step further, that when we look at a country so small, and just yesterday the president was talking about the economy, it was strangulated by the previous government, can't breathe. I'm thinking it still cannot breathe now. Then we must not be spending 12,500 a day for a retreat. So my question to you, we all can say, I can take a step further and say it was waste. It was waste, misallocation of taxpayer resources. I have some recommendation on how they should have retreated, but if needed, and everybody needed as far as government officials. But what are your recommendations for a budget-friendly retreat? That's my first question to you.
Sorry?
What is your recommendation for a budget-friendly retreat? Because they have to do a retreat. I have some recommendation, but I want to hear from you. What is your recommendation? That's my first question.
So like I said to you, I don't want to go into all those issues right now.
Saying that one question I asked, it just have paper pass, it just have prelude to the song.
So thank you. Like I said, where have I been?
One more question? I took the question. You don't let me spoil your flow here. Sorry. That one more question, Peabody?
Yeah.
One more question. I took the question.
One more. You got one more.
Okay, go. Sorry.
So like your question, where have I been with all this energy of accountability and everything? Oh yeah, I've been in Liberia. Apparently, I mean, you just heard about me, but I've been around for a little while. I've been with
other question was statement. I know you're from the CDC. The question there is, what is your recommendation for a budget-friendly, if they have to retreat, or what is your recommendation, or how they can do it, or a deal amount?
I understand you very well, and I want to answer the way I think it will be okay for me. You just pass in sweeping, so myself, I won't pass by the sweep, then we'll come back to then we derive our. So basically, I was around, we were talking, but our country is in such a way that we don't identify young people when they are down there. I mean, we don't recognize those different advocates that are going around the country from the student community. Our country is the kind of country, the only way people can recognize and know you and follow you is when you arrived. So a few years ago, we have a lot of brilliant young people in Liberia now who are having different advocacy, young women, young men all around the place. We've not been able to scout those people, to develop them, to be the kind of people as future leader that we want them to be. But now we'll let them to do all their stuff. When they arrive to the scene now everybody want to identify, recognize them, follow them on Facebook. So while I was not a representative, I didn't have as many followers as I have now. I have almost 25,000 followers just within a short period of given time because I'm a representative. But there were things I was talking yesterday before CDC and doing CDC government. There are a lot of people that didn't follow me because I was not there. So, I mean, that has been the issue. So we've been talking yesterday while we were in the student committee, we spoke. When we left from the student committee, we spoke. When we came to government, we spoke, and we are still speaking today. So again, today, you and I, for the first time we've met. I mean, we are meeting today for the first time. And there are others who and I will also meet tomorrow. Going forward to your issue, like I told you, it's not timely, but if I will recommend, with the kind of economy we have now, because our economy is operating in such a way that you have to raise this money from LRA, from taxpayer, and whatever the case, and before government operate. So our economy now, we just have numbers on the book, and it is not money that is seated somewhere, okay, into our budget. So once we have it that way, so they have to raise this revenue before we operate, people take salary. So it's just something we call red bar. Hand put it, hand take it is how we've been operating. So going forward, now, how did we, my question before answering your question, how did we arrive at getting 50,000 from the budget, okay, to go and sponsor a retreat when we could not raise that money to carry to JFK to increase the beds at JFK? How didn't we achieve that by increasing the ambulances and the fire service truck to fire service station, but we're able to achieve that money to carry for the retreat? So I could recommend that now it is not necessary. We could keep that for December, and then we operate in December, no problem. At which time we believe that the economy may have left from under the water to come on a show where Liberian people will start to enjoy from that. So that could be my recommendation.
And what would be a decent amount? I mean, that's not a follow-up. That was part of the question.
Like I told you, I do not have problem. Absolutely, I do not have problem with the retreat being held, because retreat should be held for every organization, but it is not timely. And the amount, no. I mean, depending on what is going to be done, if you ask me, if we are to go for our retreat, or if the House of Representatives is to go for a retreat, I can tell you that 50,000, no, 50,000 is too much. Let's go find something to eat. There will be a meal in the morning, in the afternoon. We all are taking salary. Why will we go somewhere again and the people have to spend extra money on us just to go and enjoy ourselves? So I don't see retreat as a place to go and enjoy. It's a place to go and exchange ideas, bring new things on board, discuss other reforms, and come back to the city. Lord Chief, Madam, we don't need to go and sleep there. We can drive from here there. We all have our cars, have the whole day, and we come back home. We could even have our retreat right at the Capitol building. You stay in the retainer of the House of Representatives. You stay in the retainer of the House of the Senate. We work all day. In the evening, we come back home, and the next day, and we redirect that money. So I think it does not make sense for now. It is necessary, but it doesn't make sense for now.
All right, let's go to Robert and then Grace.
I'll come back with my second question after this second
Thank
round.
you. So I like your energy, Representative. I really like your energy. But I want to ask you this, right? A lot of people, and I want to play the devil's advocate. A lot of people will say that you are energetic because it's not the CDC government in power, right? And because you represent the opposition. And you talked about rediverting the funds, and you've been very sensitive to the concerns of a lot of Liberians. I believe that you are co-chair on Youth and Sports, right? You are co-chair on Youth and Sports, right? You are muted. You are muted.
I'm the chairman on Maritime.
On Maritime, okay. Were you once a co-chair on Youth and Sports?
I was once co-chair.
The 54. Okay. Here's my question to you, right? Do you think that, given all of the concerns, all of the issues, the challenges you talk about, the schools, the challenges that they face, do you think that the entire legislative branch of government, do you think you guys have been sensitive to the plight of the people, given your fat perks and salaries? Do you think that that's you guys could do a lot better with regards to diverting some of these funds and some of what you make and the benefits to sectors such as the education sector that really needs them?
Okay, so before we get to the answer, do you know what our salary is?
If you can help me, we've heard rumors, that you guys make what $10,000 to $15,000. I know for a fact that you guys, I know the lawmakers have in the past given themselves thousands of dollars in legislative projects, constituency visits, and things like that. But if you want to confirm, I think the last senator that was on said something about 7,000 after taxes and so forth and so on. But if you want to confirm it, that would be nice if you want to do that.
So to confirm from the House of Representatives, for what I know, I make 5,300 United States dollars and some change, and I also make 200,000 Liberian dollars.
Is that a gross or net?
Well, it's broken down though, right? It's broken down. So
after taxes, 5,325, 20 or $30, depending.
So what do you make? What do you make before taxes? What is your annual or monthly pay before taxes?
So basically it's around 6,000 some change.
So the gross
That's
is
the gross
6,000,
income.
and then net is 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah, end up at 5,300 some change.
Okay. So are they talking about the benefits then, like the
100,000 Liberian dollars? So when you just get everything together, it's almost $7,000.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's pretty.
Your mind.
But that doesn't include the perks and benefits, though. That's just base salary.
No, that's just base. That's what I'm saying. So when you add all of the perks, I mean, they talk about gas slips. You guys I even heard that in the budget that comes to you, and you have to pay You guys even have cooks, right? We're paying for your maids and your securities and things like that.
And they got lunch stoppings too.
Yeah. So I mean, so the $6,000, that's still pretty decent amount. But when you looked at what you guys put in the budget for purchasing vehicle, for instance, right? So my question to you is, given everything, when you add all of the perks and all of the benefits, right, that lawmakers make, and you looked at what civil servant makes, some doctors are making $250, right? Some families are making, police officers can barely get paid $150 on time, right? All these people have families. So when you looked at, Congress, right, budget on salary, do you think that a lot could be done to really save some money and redirect that to the health sector? For instance, you talk about JFK and what and some of the equipment that they are lacking. You talk about the education sector, though President Weah did the free education, but there were still structural issues and structural things that were lacking. Do you think that a lot more could be done to divert funds to where they are needed? I mean, the city right now is flooded, right? If you go in parts of the city right now, I mean, it's a whole flood. Liberia refugees are coming from Ghana. They are living in very, very bad conditions. Do you think that a lot can be done to divert funds to where they are actually needed?
So, Chief, I agree with you that we have to focus on, but there was one thing I want to correct here. I think if any doctor should work, any medical doctor should work for $200, that is under Bwaka's regime. But under the George Weah government, there is no doctor who works for less than $1,000. There is no medical doctor. Under the George Weah government, there is no medical doctor. Okay, we'll come to nurses and other people. I want to agree with you that what they are earning, the nurses, the teachers, the police, I mean, they are earning far below the belt. I would never appreciate to say that FOCO will go to, like I used to teach a classroom. I used to work for 60 United States dollars when I was teaching the classroom. Okay, so leaving from the classroom to see another person working for $60 or even 150 United States dollars, $400 is still not enough for a professional teacher. Okay, so I also joined that with you to say this does not make sense. But as a government, we need to set up our priorities. What should be our priority for now? We should be very sensitive to that. And that was one of the campaigns that Bwaka came to power by. He said that when he's elected, wherever civil servant salary went, it was very low. The police salary was low, the teacher salary. So I thought the president's first approach would have been the issue of salary in the country, the issue of taking care of the drugs in the country, the issue of our health sectors in the country, the issue of our teachers in the country, the issue of all of our security apparatus in the country. Those police guys are all to their variety points. Okay, do they deserve that? I said no. So I support you on that. This is something that we should do better appropriation for, to make sure our people who are working, who are serving in government, most especially the teacher, the police, the nurses, even the medical doctor, their salary should be increased. That is not enough. Our gallant men, the men from the barracks, what they are earning, a military man earning $150, $200, he live all his life in the barrack, that doesn't make sense. So we as a government, these are things that we have to prioritize. So what I was asking for the other time, President Bwaka came to power, what has been his approach, the short-term, his middle-term, and his long-term plan approach towards the rights crisis in this country? Imagine everything that have happened almost 30 years ago still happened recently. What has been this government approach? Are we still going to be providing subsidy to rights dealers? Is that the solution to that? Are we still going to be working from, as a president, to be working from in front of rights dealers to intimidate them? Are we still going to be sending our children like the way Jojo now is making enrichment to be the new rights dealer in this country? No. What is our short-term approach? What is our middle-term approach? And what is our long-term approach? So as a government, this is why we are asking the president to open his arms, work with all parts of our society to make sure we solve this problem. But the self-imposed arrogance from most of those guys within the Unity Party believing that they understand everything they know or I think is wrong. But I stand with you on that. We as government officials, most especially for us who are making decisions, should make sure that we make better appropriation in the budget for these people. So I stand with you on that.
Let's go to Chris. Chris, come up with your question before I be.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Right now, Honorable Foucault, nothing makes logical sense in Liberia anymore. I mean, we all here confused, to tell you the truth, what's going on in the country. But Liberia is known for setting records. So I understand you talk about the impeachment and everything, but I wanted to lay a little premise. Liberia known for setting records. The only record they did not set recently, what they missed on 2023 election, was to make Dr. Clarence Moniba president. And Senegal took that away from us. But, with the impeachment, I know you guys are probably going to set that record. But you have to, I wanted to ask you, to impeach a president, it's two ways. So you can impeach to remove, or you can just impeach. Because, how they call him? Bill Clinton was impeached, but he was never removed. Donald Trump was also impeached. I think another American president too was impeached, and they were not removed. So, are you guys going to fight to impeach Walker, to remove him? And when you remove him, are you trying to settle your mind to get how they call it, what the vice president, Jeremiah Kuhn as a president of the Republic of Liberia? So I need to elaborate on that and think about that, because if you're saying that Jeremiah Kuhn making deal right now in I think Ghana or also the country is to sell oil, why would you want to impeach Joseph Boakai and remove him, if you are impeaching him, to remove him, to put a Jeremiah Kuhn in place as president?
So thank you. Thank you. So to that, I hold my word on that. I'm sorry, but that is our own strategy, and we know exactly what we're going to resort at. So for some political reason and security reason, because it has some security implication, we cannot expose our plan on that. But what I'm sure about, we're going to impeach President Walker. I'm very definite about
that. Another question, Grace?
No, thank you. Because we will go one, just to make the thing.
Yeah, let me come to you, Honorable Foucault. I was just reading. There was a tension that came up today. The chairman of the ruling Unity Party, Dr. Luther Tape, has sent a letter to the central bank requesting them to hire a list of officials. The governor of the central bank was appointed by President George Weah. He have already fired people and appointed people to those positions with immediate effect. I want you to chime into that and tell them same thing. They criticize your government during President Weah's administration, that Moluba Molu was doing the same thing, going from office with lists of that you hire these people. So what? I'd like to hear your feedback on this.
Anybody in lot of Liberian people, these guys are very, very bad. These guys, it's just a complete bad governance. But like I told you, next week going to be a firebrand next week, legislatively, and you will see a lot of different things coming up. Those guys have proven to us that they are not organized. They are proving to us that they are very tyrannical. They are proving to us that they don't mean well for the Liberian people. They came to hustle and leave. So as we all know that we mean well for this country, we'll make sure that we stand at the gates of this door, that nothing wrong should happen in this country, most especially when it comes to our laws. We'll make sure we protect the laws of this land and do everything humanly, positively possible to make sure our country is okay. But these guys keep proving themselves. I learned that the HR from there was taken from the position at the Central Bank of Liberia. And now you find the chairman of the party is going like he did to NASCOP. He's going from one government ministry and agency, dismissing people and employing people without going through the procedure of civil servant, for which they said there was no, people never had the correct system, they never went through the procedure, they never sat for civil servant tests. And now today there are people in government who are directors. There are people who today have started to take salaries who did not go through civil servant process. Okay? So all those things are just mere bluff. That's why I always encourage my brother Joga. He has to take it easy. He has a future. He's a young man. We still have a very long way to go. There are other young people in the Unity Party. They have to take it easy because we have tomorrow to go. Do not allow this old man to use you to create problems that you will not even have the face to sit in this country tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Go ahead. They'll cut it till Vina. Yeah.
Representative Foucault, let's start with the fact that you mentioned the issue of your responsibility. Give us some insight on your legislative accomplishment thus far.
So basically, shortly, just 1 second. I want to be systematic with that.
Okay. Take your time.
Uh, 1 second, please.
Mm-hmm. Why Representative Foco is putting together his thoughts? The reason why I posed that question is because of a young lady in Love Chili Johnson who just experienced something very horrific in Liberia, and this had to do with the police and an incident that took place, I think, on the road. She had an accident, and up until today's date, there isn't any police record of the accident, even though police appear she was robbed, as she claimed allegedly. And Love Chili Johnson is literally on the social media now seeking help from anywhere that she can find it. And so something I have noticed is that a lot of our lawmakers, are often found to be very vocal and involved in individual projects, but their legislative responsibilities are often ignored. So hopefully, once the representative is upright and ready to answer the question, hopefully he can answer the question. By the way, we'll have Love Chitty Johnson to tell the full story on Across Africa right after here. I will have her. Go ahead, Representative Focal.
Thank you. Like I said, I wanted to give you my response, in a very systematic way. Okay. So the one that has to do in keeping with my different activities at the legislature, most especially during the 54th legislature. So what we have not understood in this country, most especially many of us, I will tell you, just almost everybody, even the educated, the uneducated ones, many of us have not known have not understood the role of the legislature. So in keeping with our three cardinal responsibility, that is representation, lawmaking, and oversight. So in keeping with lawmaking, what I have realized, I have noticed, I have seen with my two eyes, I have witnessed over the years as a legislator, there are many laws we have on the book, most especially when it comes to, different laws we have on the book. So one of my issues I have had, one of the things I have had issue with is we've not been doing follow-up as legislator. For example, were we to make appropriation in the budget for public works, most especially public works transport ministry that has to do with road regulations and all those different things, the legislature have not been sensitive enough to do follow-up, to know what are those legislation that were made in keeping with our budget, what are those things were executed regularly, like the traffic regulation and all those different things. This is why we have different committees, and the house operates or work through its committees, okay? So I realized that there are a lot of bills, there are a lot of laws we have on our book, but those laws are not being implemented by those different government ministry and agency, and we as legislators have not been doing follow-up. So my issue basically have not just been on the issue of making new laws. My issue have been on the basis of making amendments, and my issue have been on the basis of, most especially, let's come to the issue of transportation in Liberia, right? But at the time they had the establishment of transport ministry, we did not have motorbike running in Liberia. We did not have tricycle operation in this country. So when I became representative, looking at the way, in our modern days, we have tricycle, we have those pimping boys and other people moving around, for which I also rode motorbike. I thought that there should be a legislation, like the way we have the body, we have LINSU, we have FLA, we have the Marketing Association, and we have all those different organizations. I believe in my mind that we needed to structure them and have a one body nationwide that were refreshed. So we had a team that we set up in our bill. They called it NAFATU. So we did our bill, and it was passed in the House of Representatives, and now it has gone at the level of the Senate. And whatever the case is, we are doing all of our different movement within there so that our senators can see reason to either add or subtract. We have a conference, and we also make sure that we have a one body. Now you will not have all these things that are happening. Oh, motorbike men need to have this, motorbike men. So with the law, everybody will understand the regulations, how they should operate, what they need to do, what they need to do. Even with those that are bringing motorbike in this country, they will know exactly what they're supposed to do. So in keeping with that, now we come to the youth empowerment in this country. So there has been a problem. I listened to some of our big brothers. They said during those days, even though maybe I was around, but I was a kid, I didn't experience that. Because when I was born, in no time the war came in this country. So I learned that there used to be this vacation job. When school closed, you find people working from different places. So when I started to grow up, I was affected by what we call no experience. The young man doesn't have experience, so we cannot get this young man job. So how do we give people experience when we do not give them the opportunity to work while they're in school, most especially in college? So I believe in my mind, we should make the establishment and set up that system where, like the way we have in Ghana, you go at the airport in Ghana, you find students out at the airport working in there, providing services and serving the country. Okay, they do that for some number of time, and right after graduation, they automatically have job, or they have the job experience to go and work to work. So it becomes mandatory that you serve your country right upon graduation or before graduation and right after the process. So the issue of youth empowerment, we noticed over the years in this country, the young people in this country have been used to accomplish every other thing that want to be accomplished by government in this country. So we believe that as far as the young people are very important in this country, we need to set up a system where there will be job before graduation. That is for people to go and acquire different experiences, and so that we can have interns in different places so that our young people can be able to prepare themselves for the job market. So we also need to establish that by law. We don't want one president to come, he gave vacation job today, and then another president comes tomorrow, he said there is no vacation job. So we want that to be legislature. So those are some of the things, with many other things we have on our book that we have done in keeping with, lawmaking. So when it comes to our oversight, basically we have done different advocacy in keeping with reminding or working with those different government ministry and agencies that are responsible to do a particular work within an area. For example, we have public works. They're responsible for road maintenance, road rehabilitation, road construction. So for example, in my district, while we went through the budget hearing, to make sure that something sufficient is factored in the budget for my roads in the district, to make sure it's factored for electricity, to make sure it's factored not just for district number 9, but for the people of Liberia as well. So with all those different things, yes, we have made a lot of we have had different approaches, and our people in our district have benefited from this. Have this benefited enough? I would say no. Do they still need more benefit? I would say yes. So how do we do this? So those are different systems we have set up in working with national government to make sure our people benefit from our 3 different cardinal responsibilities.
Dr. Peabody, if I get clarity. Okay,
all right, yeah, you can do clarity, but we should be winding down.
Okay, yeah, no. I don't want to take your time. I would just a little bit.
I'll give Telfie the chance to ask one question and give Telfie the chance to
ask. Let Telfie go. I didn't.
And then maybe take about 4 or 5 calls. And then we, after the representative, give his closing.
Okay.
So I'm back to the impeachment. I had 2, but I will swallow the other one for next time. So to the impeachment process, certainly you're right, and I'm not questioning for that, and I'm not for a United Party or any party, so I can open my mouth to say what I want to say. But, I like to go back on historical data. Just a few years ago, or just yesterday, we saw, ritualistic killing impact, the judiciary got heavy hand in the legal process. We saw gender-based violence. We saw President George Weah mute on key issues. I mean, we saw missing boys with abuse of state power, state resources. Now I want to know if you if you and your colleagues came together to put in the impeachment process for him, and when did you do that? If you did, when did you do that, and what was that process?
First of all, what you've just said, I mean, the reason for which we want to impeach Joseph Boakai, President Boakai, I mean, it is written on all the walls. You talk about killing. I mean, everything, almost everything that was said about President George Weah, most especially when it comes to those different allegations of killing, of this, of killing, of that, there was nothing that was proven in this country that President Weah killed or anybody. Yes, there was nothing proven.
It was evidence in the U.S. State report for 6 consecutive years. We all read it. So it's not even used as state. We saw it in plain view, and we read it as evidence by a source document, a credible source, U.S. report on human rights for 6 consecutive years. That is the basis. That is the valuable basis.
I have no idea about that, please. I have no idea. Okay. Absolutely.
So you're saying you don't read the U.S. You don't read the U.S. human rights report?
Apparently, I didn't read that one.
Oh, okay. You read it for 6 years. I take that.
No, I didn't read that. I didn't read that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but I answered the question about impeachment. Did you call for impeachment of Mr. Weah?
I call for impeachment when I have no idea about what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. So he was a perfect president. I rest. You can go.
He was perfect. I understand there were other challenges in government for your allegation. I have no idea.
Okay.
All right, Terrible.
You can move on.
Terrible, one question, and then I wanted to take at least 4 or 5 calls, and then the honorable can give his closing.
All right. So, I will ask one question for David because I was out of the show a little while. I listened to the honorable. I'm happy, and I like your enthusiasm. I'm actually excited about the energy you have for reforming the country. But I just like to go back on this. Okay. It's actually one question, but I'll just make a short comment. You know, on the salary of legislators, it's actually like, I don't know, it's an information that we really need to probably go to heaven or fast in order to get the correct information. One of the reasons why I went off, I was actually searching on Rota one-way page. And I actually went in different chat room in Nema that I'm in. He actually posted that he gave a whole shit like this, and he listed his different. His salary is actually 8,000 gross, and you are the same representative. He tried to convince his followers that his salary is 8,000. This one, you try to break it down. Now you say 6,000. You know the same thing is going on here now on the Prince Moy on Spoon Network tonight. Prince Moy say they got $10,000 before they went to Buchanan. That $50,000 Yom Buchanan is talking about is what they spend also in Buchanan, maybe that a gasoline or other thing or a hotel. So if you come to look at it, each of them went away, and because I just tell the senators, so each of them went away with probably anywhere between 11,000 and 12,000. Okay, so when it comes to money matters, you guys, the elected officials in Liberia, even those of the people who have respect for, you seem not be forthcoming with this salary thing clearly. You know, I don't even know how much is your benefit in gasoline, monthly or quarterly. I don't know. I don't know whether you care to come on that. But here is my real question. Have you declared your assets? If yes, have you made it public?
Somebody asked that question.
Yeah, I think you already answered that question.
Okay.
I asked that question earlier. He said, in an attempt to protest.
Walker did not declare
Right.
his asset, made it public.
So he's protesting against the president.
So, Kenabu, you want to ask another question?
I need to clarify something.
Kenabu,
ask another question. You have
saying that I said.
Let Kenabu ask another question. Tell me.
No, my question is not question. It's a clarification. People are saying that I said George Weah killed. I didn't say that. I think you look for soundbites. The CDC people look for soundbites. I said that a lot of killing that was under his government, we all saw it as evidenced by the U.S. report and all the reportings we saw. We saw heavy hand in the legislature, in the judicial system. We saw the missing boys. We saw fraud, waste, and abuse, and all of those things. Did Foco call for the impeachment of his government? I didn't say he killed. No, I did not. But as we know, too, from the top, if anything happened under your leadership, you are responsible just how you hold Boakai responsible today. So just a clarification. That's why you guys can proceed.
Okay, so Kelby, I guess you can ask your question.
Maybe the honorable may comment on the salary because they are conflicting information. Any representative you speak to, whether you speak to Delon says different thing about his salary. You speak to Amra Colley, he says different thing about salary. You speak to Prince Moe, different. So can you guys publish? You just authorize the finance department to polish your salary once and for all. So for us. You know,
that's a good one, Kenabu. Everybody get a different check every month.
And you call equals. I don't understand this. I don't understand what kind of country is it. Even advocate representative.
We work at the same place. We have the same position, but I got different check. You got different
No,
check.
because you got Senate and you got also represent.
Now we gotta move on. We gotta go.
We want to take some calls. So
let's take.
We gotta go to the call.
So the Senate,
Yeah, let's
the
take
Senate
calls.
will say something
so
different.
we should take calls.
Yes, let's take at least 5 calls.
All right.
I just want to let it out. You know.
All right, so guys, the phone lines are open. I saw Henry in the back over there, but I guess he left. So the dashboard number is available. Call in 919-324-6828. It's still open, and that is also on WhatsApp. Either call the dashboard number, call it on WhatsApp. We will still get you through either way. We can take up to 20 calls all at once. You will be on the line. So use it to the best of your advantage. The guys back home. So Henry, where are you? Henry, where are you? I guess if we don't get the guys back home to come on to take calls, then I guess we'll just go with our closing. Guys, so that is the number to call. 919-324-6828 is the number. Again, it's 919-324-6828. Let's hear from you. Especially the folks from back home in Liberia. We would love to hear from you guys. All right. Anybody? Is Henry in studio? All right. All right, Henry, can you hear us? Henry.
You got me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead, sir.
770-17635 is the number of calling. Going to be live in the closing document. 770-17635. 077-28-59-61. Definitely going to be here. To this call. Hello. And even wait, George. Make your point. 1 minute.
And I do listen to Representative Foko, speaking to a lot of issues. But then, I've been listening to their salary and other things, benefit that we got, but they kind of complication when we discuss it, and then the salary thing. There's some people make up the population of this country will be taking about 28%. So people, 200.
Thank you. Thank you so kindly. 777-017635 077-28-59-61 077-10635 077-28-59-61. So let's call her. Hello? And even when you join, oh, knows I call her. Hello?
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 All right. Caller, hold on 1 second. I'll bring you in shortly. I think we got a call on the line in Liberia. Henry, do we have a call on the line in Liberia?
Yes.
Okay.
So let this one call from her end also.
Okay. Caller on the WhatsApp line. Let's hear from you.
Let me see. Good morning from my end. I'm calling you from South Korea. My name is Alhaji Ba. And let me first say greetings to General Boko and to you guys in studio. And let me say thanks to everybody for taking up their family time to come here and inform the Liberian people on basic on issues matter to our country. And let me firstly make a recommendation to General Foco on certain things in the legislature. I think it is not right. I'm a member of the CDC. I'm a founding member of the CDC, and I think it is not right that up to this time we are still talking about legislature taking gas. I think it's quite unfortunate that we must start talking about we buying you guys cars at the same time you guys are taking gas. I think I would recommend to Honorable Foco that he should go back and, as they're talking about auditing the legislature, and they see how best they can take away that gas. You people can buy your own gas in your salary. We work abroad. We buy our own gas to go to work. You understand me? I think, Julius, you buy your own gas going to work. I don't think the company you work for or the agency you work for give you gas to go to work. I think like people should practice that same tendency. I think we can redirect that fund to education or paying those teachers and paying those soldiers and other things. So that's my recommendation to General Foucault. And to the issue, sometimes we come here, sometimes we talk about impeaching Joseph Boakai and talking about this government, and I hear people always coming back, taking us back to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf era and taking us back to George Weah era. I mean, this is the time for us to speak. We're speaking about this time. We spoke during the time of President Weah. Why can't we speak to the issue? The violations of Joseph Boakai in the government that they're talking about impeaching him. Yeah, a lot of violations that took place. So that is why you see Representative Foucault is talking about impeachment. If they didn't do it yesterday, why do you think they can do it now? They didn't impeach Obama, but they tried to impeach Trump. You cannot say because they not impeach Obama, they should not impeach Trump. So it is not in any way stop somebody for doing something. And sometimes you people say State Department report on cassette. It's not a reality. You understand me?
Thank you.
So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Let's take the other caller on the WhatsApp line as well. Caller, your name and where you're calling from. All the way from Liberia. Which part of Liberia are you calling from, caller? Caller, go ahead. Are you still with us? Your phone breaking. Go ahead. Let's hear from you. Your name and where you calling from.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Aaron M3, and I join you from Flowertown in District 14, Monserrado County.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me say thanks to the closing argument because this is my first time in which participating on the show. More especially on the boss.
Oh, that caller mistakenly got disconnected. All right, let's take this other caller here. Caller, let's hear from you. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Anthony Williams. I call from Minnesota.
Let's hear from you. What's your input or question for the representative? Unfortunately, the caller from Liberia, please call back. We got disconnected, unfortunately. Go ahead. I forgot the lock of this.
Watching and seeing how he's evolving, how he's growing in his legislative duty. I want to encourage him as a young man. There are a lot of forces against him, and I just want to be straightforward. To the issue of assets recovery, I just think for all indication, there's a lesson learned for Liberians if we are going to 2029 elections. We should draw the conclusion between, I supported President Weah before. There's a possibility. We'll see how 2029 works out. But if we can draw the conclusion between former President Weah and Mr. Joseph Boakai, Liberians should be clear about what kind of future they want. Because from all indications, if these two individuals, these two presidents, cannot execute in full access declaration, it means that both of them are incapable of transitioning Liberia. So that's just my point. Joseph Boakai, I feel there's nothing he can do. You cannot change the game in the middle of the game. The fact that he did not declare his assets and make it public there will be no accountability in government. There will be no transparency. We're just hoping and waiting for 2029. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, caller. I forgot to get myself off the. Forgot to take myself off the phone and stuff. All right, let's take this caller from Liberia. Caller, go ahead. Your name again and where you calling from?
Like I said, my name is Henry M3, and I joined conversation from Cloud Town in District 14.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you know, our Frank Safogo have the Z.
Okay.
But he always been saying that people have been following him. Look, I am a constant follower of almost all of the radio stations in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
More especially the Prime FM, the OK FM, even down to the T radio stations that are here. I follow them. Look, Frank Safogo shouldn't come here to make himself beautiful or to make himself so handsome to the extent that issues that was happening during President Weah administration, he was unable to speak on them. Where were Frank Safogo when the two auditors died in the car with President Weah referred to them as doing buffering and gathering issues? Where were Frank Safogo when the three missing men, in fact, they were not boys. These are men. These were men. The first thing, the youngest among them was age 23. So these are men. So they are not boys. Where was Frank Safogo? Where were he recommended? Frank Safogo and all was within the CDC protecting the guys that own the funeral home. He protected them. Where was the Frank Safogo? So and not only that, there was several gross violations under our law. When the LERTI issue happened, where was Frank Safogo? Look, we have several of these on our table. So if Frank Safogo have the opportunity today, he is young men like myself. He shouldn't embarrass young people for the future. He shouldn't embarrass us. Frank Safogo and others, they are serious embarrassment to the other representative. Since Frank Safogo became representative in the Identical House, he's talking about how he can't say any other bill because there are serious laws. Look, Frank Safogo and all judges to take their salary. Let me just end on this note. Frank Safogo, that what the previous scholar said from Korea, you guys are working for money. You can't be making 200,000+ LD.
Oh, thank you. We dropped him. All right. Hello, caller, go ahead. Caller from 215. Let's go. Your name and where you calling from. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, Lofa, Michael, thanks for taking my call. Listen, I just want to say, thanks to the representative for coming and spending some time in the studio. But listen, I don't think we have learned anything over the years in Liberian politics. This is a representative that was just born in the early 90s, right? And he's here contradicting himself when it comes to Joseph Boaka and George Weah, and sing praises to George Weah on the CDC, but they criticize Joseph Boaka, right? It's just to tell you that this is what we're breeding. The rooster is coming home to roost. If we're going to keep doing this thing, we are setting ourselves up for failure. Like, bro, it's going nowhere. For me, listen to this young guy that's a representative for contradicting himself because, he wants to self-sophisticated or he wants to play politics with his peers. Us, we're on the same issue, wants to play politics with his peers' life and stuff like that. It's a sad thing. We can sit here and sing praises all day to all this. Joseph Boaka is just as bad. George Weah is bad. And we should stop, inviting people like that. That don't mean well for our country, into studio so they can propagate the false messages.
Well, he's representing the people, though. He's making the
yeah, you can't come and start insulting our guests. You can't do that.
Listen, you represented the people. Listen what you lied.
Well, it is up to you. It is up to you and the rest of the folks to make that determination. But he cannot be.
But we have seen.
Yeah, but he can't come and be insulting the guests. We're not.
Right.
This guy was represented during George Weah time. I've never heard him speak against anything or all the ills that was happening in the CDC level government. Right? Given he was part of the government.
And that's the reason why. That's the reason why he's not appearing to make the case. So it is up to you to make the better judgment. So we cannot disrespect him simply because he's wrong.
No, I'm not disrespecting. I'm just saying that's the reason why I call the show.
Thank you.
Now all the people that are listening, right,
Thank you.
That we shouldn't be giving platform to people like this.
Okay. Thank you, brother. Thanks for your input. Let's take another caller from Liberia here. The lines are hot. Dr. Peabody, whenever you want me to stop, let me know. Call out your name and where you calling from. And the same caller's calling back. Go ahead.
So let me just end on this because when I was talking about the network system.
Okay, it's okay. Can you be brief in this one? Just be a little bit concise. We want to get back to the representative. Just be to your point, okay?
Yes, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the bill you talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You are dating me. First of all, you came me to impeach President Baka. You should stand like I'm doing. When the president came from Hassan Kazulu, if you can recall.
So the issue that the impeachment.
So the impeachment.
The impeachment is a real issue.
They had him down.
All right, thank you.
The
impeachment is an issue.
That's a problem on end.
Let's take two more, and then we'll have the honorable do it closing.
Okay. Let's take this one here. Next time we'll cut the phone off. Hello, caller your demon. Where you calling from? Let's hear from you. Guys, do yourselves, please.
Yeah, this is Gabriel Giant calling from Ohio.
Go ahead, Mr. Giant. Let's hear from you. The representatives listen to you.
Yeah, the lady that asking all the questions about the American report, when you're looking at report, they talk about during the campaign, they're trying to how the accident why went to Nima. They said it was the president realistic that killed people case. They killing
Let's talk. You talk something good, man. I mean that just.
That was that the president was the one who killed Lorraine all the people that were going to Nima County. So the report were people from Liberia, opposition people from Liberia, carried false information. She knows very well. They were one of those. She's part of those people that gave those false information to the United States. They wanted to come in and make the information.
All right, thank you. All right.
Let's take one more. That's it.
We got one more call from Liberia. Let's take the last call from Liberia, and then
and then we gotta go. Yeah.
All right. Call out your name and which part of Liberia you're calling from. Let's hear from you. Hello. Call out your name and which part of Liberia you're calling from. Your network says you're reconnecting. Oh wow, he's a sedition too. No, but I know that because the poor president we have pictures about him now.
The profile.
Hello. Call out your name and where you calling from. Let's hear from you. Guys, please mute yourselves.
Thank you.
Please mute yourselves if you're not talking.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. This is Thomas and Sabo of Sedition, and I'm phoning from CDC headquarters tonight.
Which part of Liberia is the CDC headquarters?
Right in Cinco, man.
No, I'm just messing. I'm just messing with it. I thought he was calling from here. But go ahead. I'm messing with you. Go ahead. I'm just I'm just messing with you.
You see, CDC will never fall short of that. That's why I went in eloquent lawmaker in friends are focused. There is no related party lawmaker compared to friends in terms of pushing the agenda.
Are you done? All right. Oh, he's reconnecting. He's reconnecting here.
All right, Lofa, I think we need to call. We gotta be out of here about in the next 15 minutes. So let the
lawmaker make his.
Yeah, the honorable do his closing. We really want to thank him. They do his closing. We gotta be out in about 15 minutes.
Right. All right. I'm not gonna take no more call. I'm gonna shut it down now. Go ahead. Representative Foucault.
So I want to say thank you to all of you, and I look forward to coming here. And I say thank you to all of our beautiful callers. And I mean, sometimes like the brother who was trying to insult, I mean, we expect these things to happen Everybody will not react to issue the same way. I understand the issue of the impeachment. They bought in when they hear the impeachment, then they want to kill me. But whatever the case is, I'm grateful. I'm working for the Liberian people. I may not be perfect. I may not go 100%, but I'm going to do my best, in the best interest of our people. So I say thank you to all of you, and I look forward to coming here again to discuss a wide range of issues in the interest of our people. God bless you. God bless Liberia, and God bless President George Manawia, the president in waiting when it comes 2029. Thank you.
Honorable Representative, it was great to see you. And man, this is your station. Anytime you want to come back, come back. We'll be glad to have you here.
Of
Thank
course.
you. Thank you for coming. And we're looking forward to having more great conversation with you.
Have a good time.
Don't make this place a strange home for yourself. Be here every time we need you.
All right, guys, quickly in about 6 or 7 minutes, let's go around 2, 4, 6, 8. In about 8 minutes, let's go around 2 minutes each. Let's get our closing and we'll call it a day, guys. Great show tonight. Very great show. Salvi, let's start with you.
Janada. Well, I think it was a good show. I like the energy. Anybody who's fiery like Talvi, you're on my good side. I think for me, it's just the conflicting information, the contradiction. So if he wants to be seen as that credible voice, that ethical voice, or that leader, then first he must declare his assets. He must criticize, and I know he's listening.
But the president ain't declared yet. He would have followed the nation.
No, because somebody is doing something wrong doesn't mean it's right. So he wants to make that difference. He wants to be a ethical voice. Then he needs to do the right thing. So my president doing this, but this is what I'm doing. I'm doing what is right. So he needs to declare his asset because he's the change now. He's putting himself as the change. Keep in mind, though, this is the same Foco that was all in the news the other day for beating people and acting like coaching 2.0. We're not going there. That was backward.
I don't think I've ever heard about him being that violent.
Oh, no, he was. He ordered some people to get beaten, but we're not going there. And he knows, but we're not going there. We fast forward. He needs to declare his asset. He also needs to start removing Fanatic Kofa from the equation because there's no budget or any money spent that Fanatic Kofa doesn't endorse, and his signature he's not in the know of 100%. He needs to keep it in that. He needs to call his own out. And lastly, I would say to him, if he must impeach, that's his right. I wish him all the best, and I hope he can come back to tell that success story.
Well, all right. We have Toga here. That Toga do is closing.
Yes. So it was a very good show.
Very good. Yeah.
And I think, the public is running with some of the information. The issue of legislators to ride Keke next week is going to be very interesting. The public wants to see lawmakers line up in Keke and going to work as an indication that President Joseph Boakai is doing everything to strangulate them. I think that's the message they want to put across, that they're being strangulated, that their colleagues from the wing of the Senate are being fully supported by the executive. And, except for the judiciary branch that has an autonomy, the House of Representatives does not have autonomy. They do not control their own budget. The money sits at the Ministry of Finance and is controlled by people at the Ministry of Finance. I think it's only the judiciary that I know of as another branch of government that has an autonomy that can control how their money runs, when they get it out, how they use it. The legislature does not have that. So the fact that the president, through the executive branch, will be strangulating the lower house, that is an issue. And so for lawmakers to line up in Keke, like he's saying next week, it's going to be an interesting scene. And we all will be watching, looking forward to seeing that happening. The legislators will be in line on Keke, tricycle, and moving on to Capitol Hill. That will be an interesting scene. Remember now that I think it was within 3 to 5 months when the George Weah government saw the first major protests. So I won't be surprised, that we're gone 6 months, no major protests has taken place in the country. This will be another sign of the beginning of what the Boakai's government is going to be confronted with. We look forward to seeing that, and thanks to Representative Foco for coming. Thank you.
All right. Robert, you want to go ahead?
Thank you. I think I shared the sentiments of everyone else. I thought it was a fascinating show. He was very energetic. You could tell that he had a lot more to talk about and to say. One thing that really caught my attention was when Gelabu asked about brought up the pay discrepancy, right? And it's interesting though because we've talked about all of these rumors about what lawmakers get paid, and we've heard all of these different amounts. I think I remember when the what's his name, former minister of state was here. He talked about he gave a different figure, right? And we were going back and forth. But why is it that the finance ministry have not just issued a statement clarifying all of this? Why is it a secret? Why do we have representatives and senators and people just coming out here talking about all of these different amounts? Even this whole issue about what was spent in Grand Bassa County. Why is it that in the interest of transparency and accountability, why is it that the Ministry of Finance can just put out a statement on precisely what was spent? Why does it have to be this speculation all over the place? I think this speaks to this whole cahoot and this whole status quo when it comes to some of these informations actually being out there. We have not seen a single pay stub to really say. Everybody just verbally saying, "Oh, this is what I make after taxes. This is what I make." Why is it that we have not seen a single pay stub? Same thing during the campaign. Everyone asked for the turnover notes. There was this whole discrepancy about what was left in the confines of the government. We asked for turnover notes. We argued left and right. We have not seen a single copy of any turnover notes, which raised the question: is everything in Liberia a secret? Are we just playing politics here? But it was a great discussion. I think the whole impeachment thing, I think, is far-fetched. I don't see the possibility, but I mean, if the House of Representatives can get the numbers to even start this whole process, I think it puts a lot of pressure on the executive. And I don't see the possibility, to be honest with you, I don't see the possibility of Fanati Kofa being removed. I think this is not a good political project, and I don't see this being feasible. But it was a great show, Doc, and you did a great job conducting the show, man. Thank you so much for that. It was a great show.
Thank you, buddy. Maybe somebody this week might have Lofa conducting.
Well, any news on any news on any news
Lofa will conduct up front, so you can take all the so you can take the heat. You know, you can't leave to go to your seat. Eh?
I don't know.
It's
easy for everybody to say Lofa.
No, but Kalabu, one question, one second. Any news on why Tomalin left the
Okay,
studio?
y'all got a report now?
I think what internet issue.
Oh,
Y'all got a report now?
For what? Okay,
On LTE.
Have they
released it? They're going to go back.
They're going back? Are you kidding me?
I think they don't let it go back because the ball won't
God,
open and investigate the situation. And I saw the paper was taking pictures at the end of the day. I don't know. I like to do it closely. Let us not close the show.
That's a different topic for another day.
Yeah.
Nothing surprises me about Liberia anymore.
Yeah.
Listen, the Vice Minister, who was a panelist on the show at some point, when the last time in the PA here, I said to him, he has engaged in a classic corruption, a corrupt act. He got angry. The Senate got on his bike. He confessed on what he denied on the show. The same Vice Minister issued a letter to Western Cluster, lifting the ban on them lifting all, which the president had actually opened and said they should shut down. Based on investigation, there are two things I found out. The legislators are both business people and lawmakers. Even though there is no constitutional provision to stop them from making business, but they do not declare their business interest publicly. Like the VP Jeremiah Kun has the highest number of trucks for Western Cluster. So when they stop it, it was hitting his pocket. Thomas Fala, or Sir Joseph, Ellen Snow, all these people are truck owners in Liberia. They deal with the concessionaires. So this is the issue. That's why they lifted A, because shutting down Western Coast of lifting of oil was hitting these businesses. Okay, so what is going to happen here? Liberia is in a quagmire. If President Bouaka does not redeem himself to show courage and leadership, because a little half of the country put so much confidence in him that he was going to rescue, save this country, give a fresh start. Many of us didn't believe it, but that's the situation where we are now. And things are not looking good. Things are not looking good because we hear so much information. I descended today, the CTN, which there is no legal document to show the ever signed contract. That Sierra Leone company that the opposition beat on so much that it was Mohamed Kaloun, a former footballer, that brought it to George Weah. The Senate is paused to endorse CTM because the executive had recommended Medtex or something. Okay. This country, nothing surprises me about Liberia anymore. I mean, I'm watching today and I just got shot. So I will not be surprised if the 3 officials from DA go by, because nothing surprises me about Liberia anymore. I'll stop there.
Yes, sir.
Nothing. But we told you a long time, the whole country that fly. The nation only black country is Liberia. Like, brother, the country where black people can be talk, they lie. How can you be a public work minister? You go to the Senate and you confess, and then instead of a beg for you, they beg for you. They want to be, you sending lists. What are the people qualify or not? You send it to the central bank. The governor did not even wait. He fired some of the people there, and rather when he issued big memo, effective immediately the other people and just put it in there, whether how they were vetted or not, nothing like that. And then
look at John Molu appearance on Spoon. Look at what John Molu revealed. John Molu said when the first man, Jonathan Massacre, was nominated as Minister of Justice, because he was not seen in the so-called rescue ship. Okay? Yombli Kanga, DeLong, Jeremiah Kun, Prince Moïse, they all got nervous. They descended on President Bouaka and say,
Get a boo. I'm sorry, I gotta don't stop talking about John Molo on the show, yeah, man. John Molo.
You stop there. I'll do my closing. The beginning gotta go to bed. We want to make sure that we.
John Molo has no credibility.
John
Molo has no credibility.
Molo sound like a bitter person who didn't have his way.
But the man already bitter. He's bitter.
He didn't have his way.
No, I don't see it that way.
Well,
we all had a way rather made him to make. Let me do it Liberian way. Rather made him the men use on them because they're screwing up bad.
I agree.
But Dr. Peabody, will he be talking if he was there?
He would not say point. He would not say point like that. Don't mind he rapper.
If he had a job, he won't be talking all that nonsense.
He won't be talking like that.
All right, guys, we gotta let Judah do it closing. Judah gotta close. Don't let Judah come after me, please. I'm scared of Judah speaking after me.
Really, Dr. Peabody, for real? In closing, I guess it was a great show, to be honest. I admire the energy the young representative brings to the table, but I would appreciate a little bit more of honesty in his deliberation, because our generation is struggling right now with the issue of transparency and accountability. And so if you decide to be that vibrant representative for your people, it's only fair that you exhibit some level of transparency and just be honest. I was a little disappointed when I listened to the representative respond to the question about his asset declaration, and he said he's not going to declare his asset until the president declared and published his answer. It was a little bit disappointing for me. And then follow up with his legislative accomplishments. The representative was not able to specifically state what his legislative accomplishments were or are. And so he mentioned good ideas, but he did not state as to whether those were legislative accomplishment. And this is some of the problem that we're experiencing in Liberia. Everyone wants to carry on their individual humanitarian project. They don't see reason to implement their job based on the description and the expectation that they think that in their minds that the humanitarian aspect of it, or being this guy who is out there outspoken, makes you the true representative, but they forget the actual responsibility that I believe that we have. So those are the two things I was a little concerned about. I was a little disappointed that he wasn't upright, up front with his response to those two questions, even though those are the only two questions that I asked. But other than that, he is very, very energetic, and he's the kind of person that I think the CDC can really use going forward. They need these kind of representation. They need this person who is ready to stand up in the limelight and speak to the issue and get their base fire up and say, I'm with you, regardless of what the situation is. Because when it comes to the House level, people will be able to lobby, but who is sincerely loyal is what they're going to have to look up to. And it appears to me that this young man is ready to stand with and stay with CDC, regardless of what the situation is. And I think these are the kind of people, based on just political views and understanding Liberia political dynamics, you would think that, yeah, CDC should celebrate and appreciate him for standing up. But other than that, I think the young man is trying his best. Hopefully he could do better. But it's a start to everything. So I'll stop at that point and say thanks. It was a great show, Doc. Yeah.
Great show, guys. Thank you, Robert. Always Robert. Tell me, always good to have you on every now and then. The great concert of going.
I will try to switch on and watch Brazil and USA game, man.
All right. But Henry holding it down, man. Henry,
that's what I'm watching. That's what I'm watching right now.
Thank you, Henry. Myself, gotta go watch that game. But guys, Friday we'll be back. Lofa Julius, let me just holding it down. You'll be leading. You'll be heading the show. Moderating will be here, and to our friends in Germany, this Friday will show a little bit of that.
I will be on the cross. I'll be on the cross Africa shortly with that lady Love.
I'll watch
it. Okay. Thank you, Henry. Thank you to Guy Hot FM. Thank you as well.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Left?
He's in Liberia, the network.
The time. You were scared.
The man was
Henry, you can shut it off.
Somebody was texting him, so he had to leave.
To our guys in Germany, this Friday we'll show that little clip of the July 26th celebration, which I'm going to be part of, the Liberian Association. So hang out. Friday we'll show that clip. Thank you.
And I'll tell you on that note, this is how we like to call it. The time stand exactly 28 minutes coming up to 1 o'clock here in Liberia. Let me say many thanks to the panelists there. Let me say many thanks to the team that 96.9 in Nima County, Sacre PA. And the team that Hard FM 107.9, that's the band Zizibala and the man Alex and other feeder radio stations for also reading this program. Join the team that's going to be this coming Friday. I wish the team going to be here again with another edition of the closing document. I've been here with the man Ansu Selif. My name is Heron Jada, and with the man Arthur Butler. On behalf of the team, we say bye-bye, join us. That's going to be on Friday again. Bye-bye, friend. And do not forget, close the door because bye, guys, I around. Please close your door. This is the Renaissance Radio 96.12 FM. We broadcast live from Dupont Radio in Painesville, outside the nation's capital, Monrovia. Goodbye Guba will join you. That's going to be 5 o'clock this morning. Bye bye for now. And